All right, here we go. 1900, hands up. I think Matt took off. There it is. Angel. All right, Angel, what's going on? Mm-mm-mm-mm. Can you guys hear me? See me? Okay. Angel, can you hear us? You ready? Mm-mm. Oh, now you're muted. Now you're. All right, while we wait, everybody else grab those hands, okay? Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, no, Angel, we couldn't hear you. There we go. Let's see.
Can you hear me
Yep.
now?
Yep, we can hear you now. What's going on?
I just have a question. Are there any airborne slots for infantry right now? Because I signed for infantry, but there was zero airborne slots. And I know that in basic training you can volunteer because sometimes they have airborne slots, but I
Mhm.
wasn't able to secure any because I there was literally no option.
Are you a high school student or are you a graduate?
I graduated already.
Okay.
I
Yeah, I
graduated in
mean,
24.
okay. Yeah, man. I mean, there few. I haven't had to look for a minute, but there. The last time I checked, there wasn't any airborne. In fact, last week we were trying like crazy to get one and couldn't get one. So I think the slots are just all gone. The reason you can apply, like volunteer at basic is because those slots get taken up front, but then like people will realize they're not physically where they should have been, right? And they may have an airborne contract, but then they can like say, you know what, I don't want that no more, and they deny it, which at that point is going to free up an upcoming slot, and that happens more often than you would think. So that's why they just take that person's slot and then they offer it up to the basic training class. Like, hey, who here wants to go airborne? You know, raise your hand. You know, or they'll use it as a competition. Like, hey, highest PT score gets an airborne slot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. Did you have a waiver,
I did.
medical waiver?
Yeah, I did, but um, they tried to convince me to sign 19 uniform, and 19 uniform had open airborne slots. But I said no because I didn't want to risk becoming a tanker just to become a cavalry scout.
Yeah. I understand that. So you having you mind? Nobody actually knows your name. What was
It
your
was
waiver for?
my waiver was for anxiety medication and psychotherapy.
When when did you have it? When was the last time you
Um,
pulled medicine from for anxiety?
Over a year and a half ago, like my waivers have already been all approved. Like my I
You
haven't
wouldn't have
had
gotten it
therapy in
anyway.
over a year. Huh?
Yeah, you wouldn't have gotten airborne anyway, even if
Oh,
you
really?
were. No, because you have to have a gap of 5 years off of any sort of medication from anxiety, ADHD, depression, or if you had any shoulder injuries in the past 5 years, you're DQ'd, and they will not accept any exceptions on that. They just they're not looking at them. So, to be honest, even if there was a slot, which there aren't any, you would not have qualified either way.
And my second question is, um, I'm also like thinking about like the future and whatnot, but there is another job that I really wanted in the army, and I know that after your contract is up, if you reenlist, you can reclass. But I really wanted to be a forward observer for field artillery, but I didn't want to gamble and go 13 uniform just to possibly get the one job I wanted to. I felt like that was pretty dumb. But when you reclass MOSs, is it to that specific MOS, or would you have to still go as a 13 uniform?
No, You should be able to on a reclass pinpoint it. I'm gonna be honest though, I haven't seen that yet, so I can't really give you a for sure answer on there, and I don't like giving half-ass answers. So um, that's something that you would have to ask the career counselor once you get to your unit.
Okay.
He or she will be able to give you a much better answer on that. Since they've changed it to the way they're doing it now, which is like all the 13 series, all the I think it was like 19 series and whatnot. Um, they kind of smashed them, right? And
Yeah.
you go in as a uniform or whatever. I haven't had to see that from the lines perspective. So that's something that I would ask the career counselor once you get to your first unit, if that's possible.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Of course. Good luck, man. Thanks for the
Thank you.
questions.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, get the hands up. I know I just somebody just had their hand up. I accepted it. Um, we're gonna try and be doing this on Thursday for the next month and a half, 2 months. I am going to be flying out, maybe, depending on weather and government shutdowns. I'm going to be flying out and I'm going to be at a school for a while. So keep that in mind. I will try to do this from the hotels, guys, and keep this rolling as much as possible. But so, stay connected. Let's keep it up and keep rolling. Uh, what's up, man?
Hey, good afternoon, Sarge. My name's Keaton.
How's it going,
Hey,
man?
quick question. Good, good, good. Quick question about just a 68 whiskey. It's like a two-part question.
Okay.
So currently I have my EMT. I've been working as EMT for 2 years, and I'm thinking about enlisting the Army in the next like 6 months because I'm currently just doing training. So because I was hoping to get an option 40 contract eventually. So I'm currently just training up for that in these next like 6 months. Um, if I go in as a 68 whiskey, am I going in as a E4?
So the way the ranks work is it's going to go based on how many like quote unquote college credits you have, and the college credits will determine rank, right? I will tell you that you would probably be eligible for a reduced AIT, so you wouldn't have as much time in training, depending on how many, like how deep your actual EMT cert goes. Because depending on the program, I've seen people when I was in Illinois, they were like, "Yeah, I'm an EMT, I'm an EMT," and I'm like, "Dude, no, you're not. You know how to do CPR, like in that." But they got the title of EMT, so I'm not saying that to you, okay? So don't take that as a an insult. I'm just saying depending on what you've got on your transcript and your program, could qualify you for a less amount of training for AIT.
Right. I'm currently nationally certified as the NRMT that the Army uses. So I
Okay.
asked my buddy, who's yeah, he told me that I can use it because he's a 68 whiskey
Yeah.
for the Army as well. So he told me that like yeah, I can go in as a E4 and skip through the entire EMT phase and just go directly to the whiskey
Yeah.
phase of
Yeah. I
AIT.
mean,
Yeah.
if that's the case, then yeah, you'd be just fine. But again, like the last gentleman was on here asking a question, and without me seeing like your actual certifications and stuff, I hate to give those answers because it's people like to hang on to the words I say and they take that as law. So until I see your paperwork, I'm not going to give you a factual yes or no question on something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, if that's the case, what you're saying, then 100%, you'll get a rank up and you'll get less time in EMT in AIT.
Perfect. Thank you. And just another question: is 68 whiskey in high demand right now?
No, there's nothing that's in high demand. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The Army's just crushing life right now. Everybody's joining. Things are going well. Recruiting numbers are through the roof across the country. 68 whiskey has always been a high demand or like a wanted MOS, I should say. So a very popular MOS where people go to that a lot. So it's usually hard to. There's not a lot of those slots to begin with, and we're killing it. So, I mean, give you an answer, there's nothing in high demand now. If you're trying to do something like option 40s and things like that, maybe that would probably be more prevalent with a 68 whiskey contract. If you considered 18 X-ray and wanted to try to push yourself down the Delta pipeline, that's a huge one too. I mean, have you ever thought of that?
Uh, Not at the moment. I was just more interested in just doing the Ranger medic.
Okay, yeah. So I would definitely look into it. Okay. Um, I don't know if you've done any research on it, but those guys that do the 18 Delta training, they're like two classes away from being a physician's assistant. Almost every single one of them will get out of the army and either go to med school because they're almost done, or they'll just take that class or two, get a physician's assistant's license, and make huge money. So, I would at least look into it. You know, do yourself a service and research it. But if it's still not up, if it's still not something you're interested in, you know, no harm, no foul. Go the option 40 route. You know.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much for the information and help. Appreciate you.
Yeah, yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a good.
You too.
Sorry, I just have one more question. So my mom was curious about this. My little brother is in junior year. He's going into this is about like the Army Reserve program. So I was gonna ask, does the Army have like the program where you can go into basic training as a junior and then you would just go to AIT after your senior year? Or is that
Yes.
only the guard?
Nope. That's Army Reserves too. So the Army Reserves will have that option. We call it split option. So their junior year, as long as they are 17 with parental consent, then you can go to basic training in the summer, come back, do your senior year. Once they graduate high school, they'll go to AIT. Once AIT is complete, they'll come home, and then you can go to school full time while the Army pays for it, and you do your drill 1 week in a month.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now, do you know the difference between that? Is mom sitting with you right now?
No, my mom just told me to ask a recruiter for information though. I do
Oh,
know
okay.
the difference because I know like you have the choice to go active duty if I'm not incorrect. Or am I wrong on that?
Uh, it's easier. Okay, it's a lot easier to go from the reserves to active, right, than it is from the guard. But it's still not. It's never guaranteed. Okay. The second thing, though, that I would say, right, and this is my biggest, in my opinion, the biggest ploy why I would do the reserves over the guard was because of the way that the pay structure is, right? So the reserves are federal and the guard is state run, right? So you don't have to worry about like, oh, what do you call it? You're not going to have to worry about the state running out of funding or they don't want you to move, so they won't approve transfers or anything like that. I've heard some horror stories out of there. As far as the reserves is concerned, they don't care where you do your service as long as you do it, right? It's federal, so you can do it in California, New York, anything in between. They don't care. So that's my opinion, right? Biggest way I say it is if your little brother, right? Is that who we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so your little brother decides, hey, I want to do the reserves because I want to go to college. I want to work, and I want to obviously the army to pay for it. Okay, great. How long is a bachelor's degree?
4 years.
Okay, so the general contract with the Army National Guard or the reserves is 6. Okay, so if you're doing a 6-year contract and you go to college, right? That's 4 years. You still have basic math, 2 years left. Okay, what does everybody want to do after they graduate college? Well, they're going to want to use the degree that they just went to school for, right? Or they want to use it. So they go get a job, right? They put themselves in the job market. Well, where do you live?
Massachusetts.
Okay, so little brother gets a job offer in Colorado, California, or Texas, right? And he's like, wow, this is everything I wanted, dream job. I got to take this. But now he's in a position where how am I going to get back to Massachusetts, you know, 1 week in a month, right? Now, the Guard has an option where you can change units from state to state. Um, I've heard one person get it done. I think the guy went from Illinois to Indiana. Or no, I'm sorry, it was the other way, Indiana to Illinois. And that was the only guy I've heard that was able to successfully do it without a ton of pushback. So you can do it real easy on the reserves. It's a simple form, request to move, and they approve, and you move, and you go. So I look at it as I don't want a bunch of hurdles in my way stopping me from the whole reason he joined in the first place was to get a degree and to get a job with that degree. Well, now what was helping you has now become a hindrance. We don't want that. So, in my opinion, that's why I think the reserves is, a better option.
Does post like education, does it have to be college, or could it be like trade school or like culinary school that they would offer to pay for?
Yeah, you can do that too. As long as it's accredited and it's nationally recognized, they will pay for it.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because my mom wants my little brother to go in because she kind of feels like that is also what would be best for him in terms
Mhm.
of just discipline, etc.
Yeah,
Things of that nature.
100%. 100%.
I w-
I
wanted
agree.
to I wanted to ask, like, from your perspective, if you've seen unmotivated people become successful, because I, as an older brother, of course, am very concerned for his future because he's a very unmotivated, disciplined person. And I also agree that the army could do him better because, he will be more disciplined, like they're going to install structure in his life.
Right. You ever heard that? Was it the joke? Send them 2, 3 years to Dagestan. I'm gonna start that with the army. Like send him 2, 3 years to the army. He should probably go active. It would do him
Yeah.
better. He might get lucky, and after the 10 weeks of basic training, it just something clicks in his head. Now all of a sudden, he's just a different person, but the chances of that happening are very slim. People like to go to basic, they feel that like discipline and structure, then they come home, back to normal life, back to the same bullshit they've been doing, and next thing you know, they fall back into the same routine they were in. That's why if you've been listening long time, you've heard me and Jake and Ranger Jay the other couple weeks back. We were telling that guy, get out,
I remember that.
move away, right? Because you get back home and you just kind of fall back into the wheel of the nonsense. So, yeah, I mean, if that's a huge concern, but I would also caution you, he's what, 16 years old,
Yeah, about to turn 17.
or all 16-year-olds are unmotivated. All these
I,
young teenagers, and I'm looking because I got one to my right here, unmotivated as usual, but they're all that way. So don't let don't let that like become like what you think he is forever, because he still has a lot of growing up to do. But I think the army, if that is a big problem, active duty is gonna kind of, you know, put that discipline 24/7 into him, where he's gonna have to figure it out. And then later on in life, man, he's gonna just click. But I mean, to answer your question, yeah, I have seen the army change people from unmotivated to successful and motivated.
all right, thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yep. All right. Has anybody else got some questions, comments, concerns? Let's get the hands up. Hands up. I'm not seeing YouTube tonight. Does anybody want to? Kenna, are you in here? Are you on the YouTube, or are you just in here? Kenna, I need a scribe. I need somebody to read the YouTube questions as well. I'm not over on YouTube. Maybe I could pull it up on this phone. Pull it up on the Govy. Oh no, I'm not doing that. I gotta log in and stuff. All right, guys, get the hands up. Oh man, we're only 20 minutes in. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Derek usually comes in and says hi to me right around now, but he's gone. He went to basic. Matt, what's going on, brother?
Hey, sorry, I got caught up with some.
No, you're good. You're good. I started the stream early just to get a head start on the getting everybody with their hands up and stuff. But yeah, you
Gotcha.
get it.
So I was wondering. I seen the first guy asked about option 4 contracts. I was wondering what option 40 contracts were looking like, Ranger contracts, because last time I went, they seemed to really push to get me an airborne contract and told me just to volunteer and that's it for infantry. But I was wondering what just regular infantry option 40 contract look like right now as far as availability.
Goose eggs. There are none. But
Really?
but that's not a problem. Okay. So, have you heard me talk about the Ranger Volunteer?
No, sir.
Okay. So the way this works, right, is I'm trying to explain it not recruiter terms. So option 40 is like a systems preload, right? It's just an option that they've preloaded in. So 2, 3 years ago, uh, recruiting command and the regiment and the rest of the DoD, they all got together and said, okay, how many option 40s do we project we're going to need for fiscal year 2026? They came up with a number and said, all right, cool. They uploaded these in there. Now that's how you got your option 40s, right? They used a lot more, okay, than they thought they were going to. And now here's the other way the system works. If you were to take an option 40, right, and you have it, and next thing you know, you're waiting to ship out, and you say, oh shit, I got a month left. I don't think I want to be infantry anymore. This Ranger thing doesn't seem like it's me. I think I bit off more than I can chew. You call your recruiter, you say, hey, can I switch my job? And we're like, yeah, it's, kind of a pain. Um, but we can do it one time, right? So then what happens is once we do a renegotiation of contract and you pick a new job, you get a new ship date, that option 40 is gone. It doesn't go back into the pool of option 40s for somebody else to pick up. It fizzles into nothingness. In fact,
Okay.
if your contract had bonus money, where it's like, hey, it's also 30 grand, that's gone too. It doesn't go back into the pool of money. It's just gone and it never gets spent and nobody gets it. So that's why it's kind of a pain and nobody should be doing that. Really think about what you want to do. Okay, so now that you know how that works, they used up all the option 40s this year real fast, whether it be because of people like that who were, screwing everybody over by not committing, or people took them real fast and now they're all trying out for RASP or going to RASP, right? So the regiment still wants people. So their backup was their Ranger Volunteer. Okay, the Ranger Volunteer happens at MEPS. So you do an 11 X-ray contract. You sign a statement of understanding what the volunteer system is, what the regiment is, and what you're actually volunteering for, right? You have to go through and you have to initial all the lines. They call the regiment, send an email, call, and make sure that you're qualified. The regiment looks at your file, goes, yep, they're good. Then they manually add you to gains roster for RASP. Okay. So instead of it being a automatic option 40, it's basically like it gets manually punched in on the spot. Okay. So it's just as good and you are going to RASP, but it doesn't show up on a contract like it does when you have an option 40, right? Because it had to get done manually. What I've been doing is I forward email traffic to the person that I sign up for it, and I show them like, hey, look, this is the special mission unit liaison saying, hey, we got this guy, we're tracking him, we're gonna go pick him up 2 weeks before MEPS, or I'm sorry, 2 weeks before basics done. The Ranger liaison is gonna come swoop you guys all up, and then yeah, that's how it's gonna work. So it's same thing, just more steps. But yes, you
Okay.
can still do Ranger stuff.
Number one is, does that still require the one? I'm not 100% sure. Is it 110 or 115 GT score? Does it still require that for the Ranger Volunteer Program?
Ranger's not a 110 GT, it's a little lower.
Okay.
But yeah, you still need to hit all the marks to qualify for that job, regardless. To
Okay.
include airborne. So if you're not qualified for airborne, did you hear me talking to the other guy when he had an airborne question?
Got all the 5-year probationary stuff. Yeah, yep.
Not probationary. No, it's 5 years in between any sort of shoulder injury or any behavioral health. So if
Yep.
you picked up medication for ADD or anxiety depression in 2024, well, you're not getting airborne. It just is what it is. And you guys know as soon as that changes, if it ever does, I can't, I don't know. Y'all be the first to know because I find out very fast about anything related to Special Missions Unit, 18 X-rays or anything like that. So,
No, yeah, I'm all clear for that. The only thing I wear glasses, but as far as I understand, it's a correctable vision standard, and I believe I pass it.
yeah, as long as it's corrected to 2020 with glasses, you'll be fine.
Yep. All right. I appreciate it. That's really all the
Yep.
questions I have.
No
It's
problem,
good to
man.
know the volunteer program. I really had no idea about that. Is that a newer thing?
Actually, no, it's been around for a long time, but it's just being used
Okay.
a lot right now because we ran out of those option 40s like
Right.
super fast. I'm hoping they just upload or build new option 40s, but I don't know. It's a mystery to me what these people do. You would think that would make sense. Shit, I'm still waiting for them to replace the 369 on Recruiter Zone, so I don't have to find it somewhere else. So I know you have no idea what any of that means, but I have a recruiter or two in here, I think, and they all know what I mean. So,
Well, I appreciate you
yeah.
keeping us all in the loop.
No, you're good, brother. So let me know. And are you working with a recruiter?
I'm working on my local recruiter, but like I said, I went up there and they just kind of were recommending the option 4 contract. But from what you said, it's not really even available right now. I don't even know why they were recommending that.
Yeah, well, that happens. It's hit or miss, man. I mean, next week it could be. I mean, when you talk to him the first time, it might have been available. You know what I mean? Like, but last week and this week, I haven't seen him. And again, it does depend. If you're a high school senior, if you're a grad, if you're male, you're female, all these things actually factor into all of that. So it's not like there's a big pool of like, hey, there's 1,011 X-ray with option 40, come and get them. It's like, hey, 200 are for men who have graduated high school. 500 go to men who are still in high school as a senior. 200 go to females that are seniors, and so on and so forth. So, just keep that in mind. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, that makes sense. It's more specified like that, separated.
Yeah. Did you do paperwork with these guys yet, or did you just ask them questions?
I literally just did a practice ASVAB.
How long ago was this?
A week ago.
Okay. Well, hey, I'm not here to take anything, but if you would prefer to work with me, I will help you out. But
no, yeah, I'll hit you up because if they're not gonna be lenient with this Ranger volunteer program and try to get me in that, and just try to push the option 4, I'd rather just go straight into RASP.
Yeah, I mean, and it's quite easy. I've done a few of them already, so just let me know, man. It's super simple. You know how to get a hold of me?
Yes, sir. I have your number.
Too easy, man. Give me a call. Awesome. Shoot me a text right now, and I'll call you a little later, okay?
All right. I appreciate it, boss.
All right. Appreciate you, Matt. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Take it easy.
Yep.
Bye.
Bum, bum, bum. Okay. I'm trying to read this. You got Kenna, you got check-ins where? Are you still in AIT or something? I feel like you shipped out forever ago already. Oh, man. Shit. All right. Let's get hands up, guys, if you got something going on. Wolf, I do reserves as well. Active and reserves. Okay. All right, we are only 30 minutes in. Is this going to be a quick one tonight, everybody? It's okay. It's freezing here, so I'm kind of okay with that if it is, because I can get cuddled up in a blanket here and, close it. Last time I checked, it was 9 degrees. I don't know what it is now. But bum bum bum. Caleb. Caleb, what's up?
Yeah. I had a kind of a stupid question, but I'm about to graduate high school,
I'm
so I
gonna
was just wondering
let
like
me
how
Caleb,
shit.
Caleb, Caleb. Caleb, I'm gonna stop you, okay? That is like the biggest pet peeve of mine known to man. Okay.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life, never start a sentence with "this is a stupid question." Okay. Because what you just did was you invalidated everything that's about to come out of your mouth next. Okay. Don't say that.
Yep.
Just say, hey, maybe this was covered already or something along those lines. And then ask your question because I don't care if anybody else in the room thinks my question is stupid. I'm going to ask it and they should respect it regardless. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. What's your question?
So I was about to graduate high school. We've talked a couple times, and
Okay.
I was just wondering like how quickly I could ship because I was wondering Jake kind of in the past has said to quit your job right before you're about to ship and then just focus on training. So I was just wondering how quickly I could get out the door when I graduate high school.
What job are you trying to do?
11 Bravo, and then hopefully an Airborne because the end goal is Ranger.
Okay. 5 right now they're like looking at like 5 months. 5 months for that is the last time I
Gotcha.
saw. I think it's a long wait, man. Okay, and
Yeah.
the reason is because of how good the Army's doing with recruiting. I feel like a broken record when I keep saying this, but like it affects everything. Recruiting numbers do. So, um, for again, easy math, right? Everything works on slots. So when you have we're gonna call it 100. It's more, but you have 100 slots in a class, right? For infantry, and it leaves January 1st, right? Once all those fill up, it'll be like, cool, next class, February 1st, another 100 slots. And then it continues, so on and so forth. So the fact that we've just been filling classes left and right, it just keeps kicking it down the line, longer and longer and longer wait and ship out dates.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't rush it. Okay, like don't worry about having to jump out here and leave real quick. Like the Army's not going anywhere, bro. Okay,
yeah.
it's here where you're not gonna miss anything. Okay, so enjoy your time, focus on high school, do whatever keep whatever you've been doing. Hang out with your friends. You know, don't do anything stupid that gets you arrested. But like go be a kid for a second. Because the rest of your life is coming, and I think you're gonna look back and regret it if you rush this part. Okay.
Gotcha.
All
All
right.
right. Well, have a good
Do you
night,
have
Sergeant.
any? Yeah. You have any medical issues or anything like that?
No. I
Okay.
have a question about counseling. I was kind of being a bad kid, so my parents tried to put me in counseling. Would that be an issue? I've got like no diagnosis or anything like that. They just
No,
threw
that
me in
won't be.
counseling for like 3 months and nothing happened.
So you just went to like a counselor for 3 months, like once a week or something?
Yeah, she pretty much just talked to me.
No, you should be fine. I wouldn't be too concerned. It wasn't a medical problem. It was you know, teenage boy problem. Whatever.
Alrighty. Have a good night. Appreciate you, Sergeant.
Yep. Hey, you too, Caleb. All right. Collins, bro, it's negative 15 by you. I don't even know what it is. Riley, what's the temperature outside? No, it's 11, negative 11 now. So we're catching you. We're catching you, Collins. I'm gonna go outside and start my truck here probably pretty soon and let it run for like 20 minutes or something. Um, yeah, I was dumb. I did not decide to winterize my truck, and apparently that's things people from the Dakotas do. Yeah, I didn't do it. So really hope my battery doesn't just eat shit tonight. We'll figure that out though, I guess. Da, 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 da. 70 in Florida. It's rough, bro. It's rough here. The weather. I mean, this weather will kill you. I mean, it's really bad. It's cold, cold. So, all right, we got hand up. I think we do. Oh no, somebody just tagged me. Oh yeah, that's probably the best idea, Christian. I'll be honest though, my hands. I walked outside just long enough to go pick my kid up from school, and it was rough. My hands were freezing. Does anybody have any more questions? We got 35 people in here. You guys just gonna look at me, stare at me? You guys want to talk? Trying to see if we can get into YouTube. Okay. I'm not seeing it. Yeah, everybody, man, y'all just staring at me. What's that saying? Shit. There hasn't been much going on. I'm gonna tell you. I think the count is at like 17 or 18. By the way, if you guys are wondering, I know you always ask Jake what the count is, and half the time I'm not even in the stream. Um, but that's where we're at, killing life. So let's get it up there. Let's push. Let's get some more operators going. But I think it's been about 40 minutes. So if there are no more questions, we're going to end it here. But if you guys got more questions, because I got a couple phone calls to make, but I will stay if you have questions, but I don't want to end it too fast. So you guys got a couple seconds here before I say goodbye and end it, okay? James was in last night asking Jake for women. He calls him. Oh, is that I don't know who James is, bro, but that whoever it was calling Jake Unk was really. Did Jake say something to him this time? Because that was pissing me off. Super irritating. Yeah, I remember. I remember the guy you're talking about. Kept calling Jake Unk, and I was like, dude, you're just pissing me off now. We got a question. Hold on, can't talk right now. Was that? Do you know whatever happened to that kid that got DD? Oh yeah, I do. He's just it's just not happening for him. Keratinosis is a killer. So the problem with keratinosis is it's degenerative and it doesn't get better. So you can get a surgery now, and I think I can't remember what it's called. Something mirroring or so I don't know. You can get a surgery. It'll slow keratinosis down, but it won't cure it. So eventually your eyes will go back to being degenerative. So unfortunately there's just if you got keratinosis, you're done. You're just done. The army is not taking you, or the military for that matter. Uh,
Hello, Staff Sergeant.
gaming. Raise your hand. No, not you, Darren. Hold on. Gaming. Raise your hand real quick. But ask now because I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be very. No one knows who you are. You can ask any personal question right here under the eyes of nobody knows you. Okay. Wait for Darren to finish his question though. All right, Darren, go ahead.
I took my ASVAB, and I got
Okay.
an 82, and then my GT was a 123, and all my line scores were in the 120s.
Nice. Okay.
I'm trying to get a 2-year contract, and my recruiter's like, not sure if he can get me that right now or not.
Well,
Do you know
why?
if they're still giving those? Because I want to go to my master's degree. So I'm trying to get the GI Bill and VA loan.
Oh.
So once I finish that, I can go to my master's.
You're not going to get it on 2 year. You got to do minimum 3.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, so you're about to screw yourself. I mean, he should have told you that, but he didn't ask questions, I'm assuming. So don't do that. Do 3 years minimum.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, you're all good, Darren.
All right.
Gaming, what's up? Firefighter.
Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, perfect. So I was curious. I was looking at enlisting into the Army. I want to know how hard it would be to get a job as a firefighter.
Are you trying to do this full time or part time?
Full time.
Would you be open to doing it part time? Let me ask you this:
Uh,
if I could guarantee you a fighter slot, would you do part time and travel for it, or is what? How is the importance scale? Where is that? Is it?
I would say I'm open to doing it part time. I'm just looking to get in relatively soon. I just got the Army PDF, so I'm working on getting my fitness up. But kind of looking to make a change soon to kind of get stable at this point in my life.
Is it the army, or is it the job you want more?
Uh, Kind of both. I really want to enlist. So I'm pretty much open to any job in the
You
Army.
got
But I would,
one of them trumps the other. Okay, so I understand you really would like that job, right? But if I told you absolutely not, can't do the job, would you still join the army?
yes.
Okay, so the army is important, more important. The job is secondary. Okay, so I've got options for you. Okay, you can do one of two things. We can go active duty, and I can tell you that job's not happening. Okay, or
Okay.
you could do part time, and I could guarantee you that job, but you got to come to South Dakota for it once a month.
Mhm. So I'm based out of Norfolk, Virginia. So I
Oh,
mean,
that's it's not as bad. I was like, I deal with a lot of dudes from California and West Coast stuff too, and Arizona, Las Vegas. That would be crazy for them. But yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
I'd be open to it. I mean, how would it work being part time?
so it's 1 week in a month, 2 weeks in the summer, usually. Um, it's up to the unit and their schedule, right? And
Okay.
then basically it's the same stuff, right? So you would go to basic training, then you would go to AIT and firefighter training, and then you would go home, and then from there you would report to your unit 1 week in a month, and then like for the drills or the field problems in the summer or whenever they run it, it's up to your unit how they do it. But yeah, that's really it.
Yeah,
So I
I'd
mean, if
definitely
you
be
want to do
open to
that,
that.
man, we could do that all day. I could pretty much guarantee you a firefighter job as long
Yeah,
as you
I'd
qualify.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? I can get you the slot, but you gotta make the you gotta qualify for it all, right? Test scores and medically.
Right. And I was wondering more about what qualifications and what I would need to start working on. Because the time frame realistically that I was looking at and actually enlisting would be in the next probably 3 to 6 months.
What's holding you back right now?
I just need to piss clean.
Oh, damn, 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, probably sooner, but just also for the simple fact that I'm also trying to get my personal fitness up. So I'm about 6'2", 6'3", 270 right now. So I am trying to drop some weight.
Okay. Is it body fat or is it
Yeah,
muscle mass?
body fat.
Body fat.
Uh,
Okay.
I mean, I played football, so I'm not in too bad of shape.
What position did you play?
I played tight end throughout high school, and
Okay.
then I played baseball a little bit too towards the end.
You played first base, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you know how to get a hold of me?
Not necessarily.
I don't
I
know.
just have the I've been direct messaging you through Discord. I'm not sure if there's like a phone number or anything like that.
Yeah, there is. It's really bad. Discord is, again, public service announcement. Discord is one of the worst places to actually get a hold of me on.
Okay.
Okay, because I check it maybe a couple times a week, but the best way, if you want to get a hold of me on Discord, this is it right here. Get in here and ask the question, right?
Okay.
You got to remember, guys, I'm in multiple Discords. I'm in, and this is the biggest one, but I get 300 messages a week about just the dumbest of things. And I'm just like, okay. So best way to do it, man, is call me, text me, right? If you want a guaranteed time, I'm gonna change my appointment time slots, but I have a calendar, right? So you can go onto my Instagram, click my calendar, and put your name right on my calendar with your own time slot, and I will call you during that time. Or you should call me for your appointment. But what it does is it blocks that 30 minutes just to you. That way we can guarantee it. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
but my number's in the chat, so if you see it there, it's in the chat. Kenna, are you still here?
I was gonna say, yeah,
No, no,
I have your phone number.
no. Okay, you got it. But hold on a second. Hey, whoever's got my Instagram, will you pop it in the chat for me, so I don't got to keep trying to look sideways and turn my head? Um, I would greatly appreciate that. Uh, and then you guys can all sit there and, like I said, you can book an appointment on my Instagram page. Super simple, bro. Technology, you know
Thank
what
you.
I mean? But
Yeah,
do me a
thank you. I
favor.
appreciate that.
Shoot me a text right now with your name and the job you were interested in, so I can remember what we talked about. Okay.
Okay, we'll do.
All right. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep. Student, what's up, bro?
Hey man, so New Year's, something happened with my brother. He was drunk. He attacked another family member, and I had to get involved. It was like a self-defense type of thing for the like I was defending the other family member and then also myself. So they arrested him, and then because I had to fight back. The officer was like, "We're not arresting you, but like we're gonna report everything to the DA, and then the DA will decide if they charge you or not." I'm pretty like so. I don't know if like that is something that would like mess up the like Air Force for me. Like I said, it was a self defense thing. That's why I didn't get arrested or anything. And I don't think the DA will pursue any charges against me. But is that something I should be worried about?
Yeah. I mean, so here's the deal, bro. The only charge it possibly could be would be a domestic violence charge, and that is a no-go in the
Yeah,
military, pretty much
yeah, for
across
sure.
the board.
But
Um, Now I will tell you, it was your brother, right?
yeah, well, I'll just tell you, he gave my mother a black eye, and he was pulling her hair, and then I had to get involved.
Yeah, no, I get it, man.
So
And that's probably why the DA is not going to pursue charges against you. Like, let's just be real.
right,
I, that would be
yeah,
pretty stupid if they did. Um,
yeah,
but in the crazy world that they do, it's a domestic violence charge. You can get that one waived. Okay.
right,
Um, now let me tell you this: if your brother ever tries to join the military, he's permanently disqualified for life. There's no shot on
okay,
earth. He just, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't work with him at all myself because
Yeah, yeah,
those
for
people.
sure. No, for sure, I understand.
But
Yeah,
the army has this thing where it's a terrible saying, but it says you can beat up, but you can't beat down. So, um, fighting with your brother, your father, things like that can kind of get like, oh, okay, it can get a waiver or whatever. But if you beat on like your dog, your mom, girlfriend,
yeah,
wife, sister, or something, you're cooked. You're cooked.
got it.
So, yeah, I would I wouldn't be too worried if I were you in your situation, but in the crazy chance and crazy world that the DA wants to do something stupid, then just understand that it could be an issue for you that you're going to have to address.
With the recruiter, got it. So I have a MEP scheduled, like the physical scheduled. I have that scheduled for February 2nd. Is that something I should tell the recruiter, or should I just wait to see what happens? Because I don't, like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm in the clear.
I wouldn't. I mean, you can if you want, but it's nothing.
Right.
Nothing's gonna change. I mean, he's gonna
Yeah.
go. Oh, okay. Well, you weren't arrested, right? And you're gonna say no, and he's gonna go,
Yeah.
okay, and that'll be the end of that conversation. So, It only becomes a thing is if the DA decides to press charges against you, then yes, you need to
Okay.
tell your recruiter immediately.
Okay, got it. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
You have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Do we have any more? Let me see here. Every time. It does? Let me do it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody's got to have like some rules or something here, I think. Copy link. All right, there we go. All right, guys. Instagram's in the chat. Go ahead and shoot me a follow. Hey, isn't that what all streamers say? Like, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. All that stupid shit. But no, seriously though, that my link tree is the Calendly. And I don't know if we have anybody in here, but if you guys want 10% off on Platoon Daddy t-shirts and stuff, that's in there too. But yeah, other than that, it's been a good night. I think I'm going to bounce out if there's no more questions. So this is last call for questions. Closing time. Any advice on investing while in the service anytime that the military provides? What is it? What do you mean? Raise your hand, bro. We're here now. You know what I'm saying? What's his name? Spiffler? What's your name? Mocha Lazil or something like that? I can't really turn my head and see. I see her trying to tag or ask a question, but it's really hard for me to turn my head and read the chat from here. Wolf, what's up?
All right, evening, Cesar.
Evening.
So I back in 2019, I got an ELS. I was a 11 Bravo, got concussed during training, PCAP for that. Didn't work in my favor. So here we are today, thinking about going back to it, working on my associate's degree right now. Looking at my priority, like my top three are 18X, 153 Alpha, and 35 series, anything really. But I know or I've heard at least for 18X ray, it's like if you need any kind of waiver or anything, that's just kind of off the table. So I'm trying to confirm with you what the status of that would be.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure like for my re-entry, I would need just a waiver until the
What's your RE code?
let me pull it up real quick. I got my DD.
It's gonna be a 3. I'm putting money on a 3 right now. Who's got money on it?
Hey, you got it. And then
Woo.
separation code is JFW.
Okay. And what was the reason? Why'd you get out? You said heat cat?
Well, I got a concussion. I got knocked out by temple shooting range and started heat catting after that. Just never really recovered.
Like a head injury type deal, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
and then how long ago was that? When did you get out?
That was end of July 2019.
Okay. No, you the waiver that I've been talking about, right? For airborne operations is really what it is. Would not apply to you. You'd be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so going back 18 X-ray, whatever, it would be decently easy for you. Have you talked to your recruiter yet?
I have not. Right now, I'm just putting all my effort into finishing up my degree right now. I'm just trying to start getting some questions answered before jumping in.
All right. Well, I just posted every contact info under the sun. Make sure you shoot me a text or something. Hit me up on Instagram, Calendly, all that nonsense, and then we'll get you in the most painless way possible. You know what I'm saying? Make it all very quick and easy for you. All right.
Yeah, I appreciate that. One last question, just with the 18X. I'm considering, I'm still debating if I want to go back guard. That's what I did the first time, or if I want to do active duty. If I decide the active duty route, I'll definitely contact you. I think just first off.
So I'm going to tell you right now, do
Yeah.
not go the 18 X-ray route with the guard.
Okay.
Just don't. You're going to be right back where you started. You're going to be an 11 Bravo on some wait list training team nonsense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. So, if you want to go 18 X-ray, okay, then you got to go full time. It's just you got to. I mean, I would suggest if it's not that important to you, then don't go at all. That would quite literally be the best advice I could give you is that is you already know you've been in. I don't. What rank were you when you got out?
I was E2.
Oh shit, you were in for 30 seconds.
I
Okay.
made it to
Well,
end
then-
of training.
Yeah, so I guess I got to tell you. So look, what you're talking about, what you're asking about is some of the most high demanding for life, physically, family, all the things like that are important. It's the most high demanding, right? It deserves and needs to receive 100% of your attention. And if you're worried about your job, like, oh, I'm working a 9 to 5 and on the weekends I'm going to do cool guy shit, or your family, whatever, it's not good. You either won't make it or you're going to get hurt if you do. Okay. So, if that's that important to you, right? If you're like, no, I have to be an operator, I really want to do this with my life, this is the path I want to go, then just do it active duty and try. Give it your all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear you. I'll definitely get that info. Appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. You have a good one.
All right, you too, sir.
Plus, the guard is just putting people on training teams, and they're not even letting them go to SFAS. So they put them on this like contract and with an IOU to go, and they end up just getting screwed. It's happened like 14, 15 different people have called me talking about, is there any way out of this? No, bro. The way out of it was to listen to me in the beginning. You cook now, but Xavier, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? First of all, how you doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
I'm good. I just had a question. I know you're Army. I know you're in the Army, but hypothetically, you're a Marine recruiter. What are you looking for in an applicant who wants to go into recon? Because I know some recruiters are a little stingy with who they give recon contracts to. So I want to know what are you looking for if you were a Marine recruiter?
First of all, you're kind of muffled. I don't know. Did anybody else hear that question? But anyway, you try to, I don't know, like if you're on a device or something, it's not really good. So try to switch to your phone. But he asked if I was a Marine recruiter, what would I be looking for a recon member, somebody that wants to go recon? Look, any job that you want to get, especially in the Marine Corps, these guys are all about, pride and belonging and all this other weird shit that they have with coins and this big sales pitch. But they want you to drink the Kool-Aid from a fire hose. Okay, so you need to care only about being a Marine. First and foremost. Second thing needs to be, they're going to be like, well, if I can't get you that, do you still want to be a Marine? If that answer is no, they ain't going to get it, right? So full commitment. I think that for me, that's kind of what I hold like in my head as what's important to me in a quality of somebody who wants to join the Army is how committed are you to this? Are you wishy-washy? Like, I don't like dealing with people that have half a foot in, half out. I don't like dealing with somebody who's completely job locked, which is kind of why I said that same thing, which is a lot of I've turned people away that are like, hey, it's 18X or nothing. Hey, we're good. I don't like that. I think that the people are joining the Army for the wrong reasons at that point, right? So I don't like to work with those people. So I kind of just turn them away, let them go ruin somebody else's day. And then, yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest things for me is commitment and, being responsible. If I tell you to go get me these documents for your medical, or if I ask you to finish your packet and it takes you, takes you 3 weeks to finish the packet in the SF-86, like, and I've already started and talked to like, you know, 8, 9 other dudes at that point. Like, you just went from number 1 to number 10 because you dragged your feet, So faster you're done, faster you get in, type of thing. I think that's what I would look for. Why do you want to try and do recon? In fact, they just got rid of like the entire scout sniper sections in the Marine Corps. Were you aware of that, Xavier?
No, I wasn't. And to answer your question on why I wanted to do recon, I don't know. I just feel it's not really. I don't know. I just wanted a quicker route to because my end goal is becoming a Marshal Raider. I mean, I'm young. I don't have any prior commitments right now. This is what I could focus on the Marine Corps.
Have you how old are you?
I'm 18.
You graduate high school?
Yeah, I'm in college right now.
Have you looked at the Green Beret and the 18 X-ray pipeline?
I've been told to look into it, and also looking into. I've been told to look into Ranger School too.
Yeah. Did you do any of that yet?
Yeah, I've looked into being a Ranger.
Look at the 18 X-ray side too. That's something that you're gonna want to look at. Look, man. Here's the deal. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay. I don't think you're joining the Marine Corps. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The only thing holding me back right now is my ASVAB, because when I had took my ASVAB the first time, I wasn't really too focused on it. And then I was first with the Navy, and I ended up scoring a 35. Then the Marines put me on a practice test. I ended up scoring a 99. And then so I think I'm qualified medically, and I just need to retake my ASVAB. But right now,
Send me a text. I'll send you a practice test. Because I'm sorry, but a 35 to a 99, that's wild work right there. So send me a text. You got my number in there, and I'll send you one. But keep going. What were you saying?
But right now, I call it my mile time is looking like 7 minutes a mile. I can run that consistently, but I'm looking up on Google. It's telling me I got to run 6-minute miles, 5-minute miles, and in a month, if I say I ship off in a month, I'm not going.
You can run. Hold on. So you're telling me you can run a 35-minute 5 mile? Is that what I basically just heard?
Yes.
You're good, man. I'm telling you right now. I would physically, I wouldn't feel. I would do a contract for either one, Ranger or 18 X-ray. With your mile times and the way you're moving, then I would feel comfortable writing you for those. But I think that's the difference, man. You need to understand that you might get to the Marines with this like dream of doing all this stuff and never get that chance. You know what I mean? Whereas
Yeah.
we can actually guarantee you that chance now. As long as you are saying, if you get a 99 to get on the ASVAB, I mean, unless some crazy shit happens at MEPS, you're going to get that job and you're going to have a chance right out the gate. And if you're already running a 35-minute 5 mile, you're going to have a pretty damn good chance of passing. Or you could roll the dice, gamble, and try to go to the Marines and hope that they give you the right contract and a hope that they're going to let you try out for MARSOC and all this other shit. I don't know. I don't like to gamble. I don't know about you, but I don't like to, especially when it's something to do with my career and my life.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, sorry.
I said, does that make sense to you, or am I just kind of crazy here?
No, it makes sense because if I join the Marines, I could end up because the contract they're gonna put me to sign is infantry, but I didn't want to sign infantry with a 35 ASVAB because then I'm gonna be stuck in that job for the next 4 years of my life. Technically 8, but
yeah, I mean, and after that, there's no guarantee you're going to get to go where you want to go. So I don't know, man. I mean, here's the deal. Okay, here's the biggest thing, right? So if you were to sign for 18 X-ray special forces for the Army, or if you sign for a Ranger contract, and let's just say some crazy shit happens and you get hurt at selection, you fail out, they say, hey, whatever, sorry. Your backup is basically gonna be their plan A. The Army's just gonna put you in infantry, right? But you get a return date and you can come back and try again for the special forces stuff, right? The difference is you're starting at plan B, trying to work your way into plan A. Whereas like with the Army, we can put you on plan A right now. And if something happens, then there's plan B is the infantry. But why would you start there? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I think, in my opinion, it's a better option to go with the Army and try these high-speed cool guy things. You know, clearly you want to do badass shit. You want to jump out of airplanes. You want to hit the ground, kick a door, and shoot a dude in the face. That's happening, right? You can do that with us very easily. Am I wrong in thinking that?
No, you're not wrong at all.
So what do you think? You want to schedule a time to talk to me a little more?
Yeah.
All right, you got my number right there in the chat? It's somewhere, man. People have been talking like crazy, burying it though.
In the basic training chat, right?
No, it's in the chat right here. There it is. Somebody posted it for you. Do you see the little chat bubble down there?
Okay, yeah, I see it.
So shoot me a text right now, Xavier, with your name, so that way I know who you are and I can talk to you right now. We'll wait until I can hear my phone ding, and then you're good.
I'm gonna send you a text right now.
Yep, right now. Xavier, you're 18, but you're the slowest technology 18-year-old I've ever met.
No, it's because I'm on my friend's phone because I'm not Xavier. Just I'm on his phone because I don't do social media. I don't do
Oh, okay. You got me calling you Xavier this entire time. What's your name then?
Nathaniel.
All right, you have your phone out, Nathaniel?
Oh, my phone is that, but I'm gonna text you from his number, and I'm gonna text you
Okay.
And I'm gonna text you from my number when my phone is alive. It's on.
Okay. All right, that sounds good with me. Then you're good to go, brother. But shoot me a text. I want to sit down and talk a little more in detail, but I don't want to bore everybody else with a personal plan for you. Is that you?
All right.
Yep. All right, Nathaniel, you're good.
You, man.
All right, you have a good evening too.
Mhm.
L. Yes, no, maybe so. L, are you muted? I think you're muted.
Yo, can you hear me?
I can.
Perfect. Hey, yeah, my name's Levi. Wanted to check in, get some advice. My buddy sent me on here. Uh, and let's see, yeah, full time, work full time here, in investments. I'm 34, but thinking about joining either the Army, National Guard or Reserves, or Air Force, National Guard or Reserves. Sister did intel for 10 years in the Army, got other fam that does work too. Have always been interested in it. Would really like to either go intel or psyops. Just don't really know, if it's the best branch, best path. But yeah, some advice would be great.
Okay, so I guess let's break it down from the beginning. Okay. Is this just a curiosity thing? Like you want to obviously continue working in finance?
Yep, want to work full time, and do something more part time versus full time at this stage. In terms of curiosity, it's more so interest and high level of motivation. Sister had a great time in the Army, and yeah, surrounded by good guys. Shout out to my buddy JD, Ronnie too, a couple other guys as well. Just good influences that did time, and served. So yeah, just personal, interest in being surrounded by a lot of military guys.
Yeah. What state are you in?
Texas, Dallas, Texas.
Hmm. Okay. Um. All right. Yeah. So I guess that's a good plan. Normally, I would sit there and kind of try and pick apart why you shouldn't uh do this or why you should go active. But I mean, your life sounds like the reserves would be the best for it. Um. Again, I think I'm an Army recruiter. Okay, so I'm obviously biased on the Army, right?
Yeah.
But there are some things that are just factual, and we have more opportunity with things like classes in schools and stuff like that. And when I mean schools, I don't mean like go take a math class. I mean like, if one day you want to try to get to airborne school or something like that, type of deal. Um,
Hmm.
So I think you got to kind of ask yourself, like, what is it that you're trying to get out of your service? Is it just experience? Is it like a good story when you're 60 to tell? Like, and there's no wrong answer. I'm just, trying to stir your head here and try to determine what's best for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say for me, it's yeah, not just like, I would say yeah, it's more so, I I've always had an interest in it, and at this stage, I'm not scared to be deployed. I'm not scared to, um, you know uh, put my time in. I think in the past, I went to a couple branches in the past 10 years, and almost went special forces, tested into it, almost submitted a packet, but I think I was just a bit nervous at that stage to get deployed, get out there, and do everything that they do. But at this stage in my
It's
life, I'm
real,
not.
isn't it?
Oh man, no, for sure. It's
Yeah.
that was a while ago, but that was like six, probably 5, 6, 7 years ago. But yeah, I think now that fear is worn off, and I'm like, look, life's hard. I might as well do what I want to do, and I've always wanted to join. I've always, yeah, gone to an army branch, but now everyone's, kind of recommended me to look at, Air Force too. So, um,
Look, here's the deal, man. Everybody's going to tell you to look at the Air Force, look at the Air Force. And the reason that people say that is they're going to always bring up the same stuff. You're going to hear the phrase quality of life, right? Quality of life is better. Quality of life is better. In your position, it doesn't sound like that really is what you're looking for. if you ask me, it sounds like you're looking for a military experience. When you think Army, what do you think?
Oh,
You
for
know,
sure.
it's like,
The military. Yeah.
yeah, it's night and day, right? And quite frankly, the Air Force will sell you straight on that. They'll be like, oh no, 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 we like to live at a higher quality of life. You know, our idea of a field is having to stay in a Motel 6. We don't like that, you know, and to some people that's appealing, right? And I'm not, again, I hesitate to tell somebody that their view is wrong, but if you're trying to look for that military experience and you want to go and try to be in the field and you want to try and like live the life and, you know, shoot guns and have that camaraderie with the boys out in the field while you guys are all trying to sleep in the rain or whatever, you know what I mean? That's like, that's the Army, you know. So to be honest with you, like I get family and friends say, hey, go talk to them or go learn about that, but it's like at the end of the day, you're in finance right now. I do
Yeah.
you really want to be in another part-time position that is kind of like, you know, eh? Or is it like, no, I want to be able to go and have like this badass experiences and do these things. And then, yes, obviously go back to my job making pretty good money on 9 to 5s, you know. I think in your situation, the Army makes more sense. The reserves specifically, because it's going to give you you're going to have no issue getting to training depending on where you want to go. A lot of people, I'm just making assumptions here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming you do pretty well as far as monetarily.
Yeah, I do just fine in investment sales. Sell high net worth Canadian accounts, so bring in like retirement and trust accounts and stuff on our Canadian side of a investment firm. So yeah, I do just fine. Hmm.
Okay, so with that being said, like you're gonna have the whole country almost opened up to you, and you can kind of treat this like this is what I want to do to like have that scratch that itch of like, hey, I want to go do some cool guy stuff sometimes, right? So,
That's
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
you would be even like, I know this is kind of crazy, right? But yeah, I wouldn't even fear putting you in an infantry unit in the reserves out in Hawaii or I think there's one in New York too, actually, now that I think about it. But you know what I mean? You're gonna get those stories and that itch and that cool guy stuff where you're gonna get to do that awesome
Hmm.
things, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, the whole country is open to you as far as what unit you want to go to, um, and the job. So in reality, you kind of whatever job you qualify for, and you're like, yeah, I want that. Like in all reality, I could put you anywhere in the country, right? So
Hmm.
as long as you get there 1 week in a month, you just got to determine like, hey, do I want to go there for this particular job? Like I was talking to that gentleman earlier, depending on how bad you want to be a firefighter, right? You want to be a
Yeah.
firefighter, I can guarantee it as long as you come to South Dakota. I have a unit here that is needs firefighters like crazy. So if that is something you like that person wants, yeah, it's here. It's just you have to determine is the travel worth the position, right? How bad do you want to do that thing?
Definitely for reserves versus National Guard, kind of like that train of thought is would you always recommend reserves over more federal versus like this the state route for the
Yeah,
okay.
100%. And like, and it's, I'm not bashing the National Guard in any way, shape, or form. They're a great organization and they have a lot of perks, but the perks aren't in your benefit, right? Most of those benefits, I would say, would be like to a younger kid who's trying to go to college full time, wants to get a degree. Joining the Guard kind of makes sense for that aspect because there's a lot of perks like state run, right? So it's like, oh, you're in the National Guard, we give you this grant. Oh, you also get this one from the state, and you get this, that, and the other. Whereas the reserves, you get a lot of those too, um, but you might be missing out on some of those. But in your situation, that's not what you're after. You're not trying to go to school full time, so it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
Now, what the Guard versus the reserves does to you is it only limits you into what does the state you're living in have as an option for jobs, and that's all you can have. So if they don't have a badass job that like you really love, or um, maybe they have all the same jobs, and then I found you a job in where do you live? Where'd you say?
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas. So say you found a job in Alabama that you're like, damn, that's a badass job, right?
Uh-huh.
If you catch a flight once a month to Alabama and go do your training, you get to do the job you select and the one you really want to do. You know what I'm saying? So you're not limiting yourself to what's in the state. Don't get me wrong. Texas has got a lot of options. I'm not gonna sit here and say it doesn't. Texas National Guard is probably one of the largest ones that exists, but um, yeah, I still wouldn't want to limit myself in the least bit.
Definitely, that makes sense. For deployments, and so frequency deployments and then length of deployments too for Army versus Air Force. Um, I've heard that Air Force has less frequent
Annie,
deployments
can you?
and, and shorter
Annie,
deployments too. Is that accurate?
hold on.
Okay, sorry.
Who's? Okay, there he goes. Go ahead. I'm sorry. He's his mic was spilling over, and I couldn't really hear you.
Oh, you're good, man. For Air Force versus Army, I've heard that Air Force has less frequent deployments and they're shorter in length. Is that accurate compared to other branches?
I don't really know what the Air Force does as far as like deployments. Maybe they do, maybe. But here I can tell you, as far as the Army goes, especially on the reserve side, they actually offer like they have an app that you can almost like volunteer for deployments, or if you can't go for certain reasons, like it's easy to get replaced and things like that. So I mean, I wouldn't fear that as much if I were you.
Okay. Okay, cool. So it's mainly like wartime where that's where it's like, all hands on deck.
Yeah,
But
yeah. If we're going, I mean, look, I'll tell you, I'm gonna say we're a warfighting organization, right? So if something happens, or especially if it's a big time war, um, I don't think you should try to duck it, obviously, but like it's going to be a lot harder to try to get replaced off of something like that. If it's like, hey, we need everybody, like that's why you joined the army, is we're war fighting. But normal time frames, normal training and deployment cycles with the reserves is a lot easier to manipulate rosters. You can be like, oh crap, I can't go because I have you know my wife's pregnant. That's right in the middle, and or whatever.
Yeah.
They'll swap you real easy with somebody else, type of thing. Or maybe you find a time where it's like, actually, I haven't deployed, and I kind of want to. You can go on that little app and like find one who needs your job and your rank, and you can like literally contact and sign up for that and be like, hey, I'd like to deploy with you guys, and you could like put yourself on it.
That's sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a great gig, man. It's a super great gig. I think the reserves is like it's a hack, man. That like, I'm gonna be honest. If I knew about the reserves when I joined, I might have joined the reserves instead. I was in sales myself, and I was doing well, and I wanted what you want, but I didn't know that the reserves was a thing. I didn't have any family members that were in the military that could like guide me in any way, and I had never seen a recruiter a day in my life. So yeah, I just didn't. I ended up going active. Don't regret my decision. Absolutely love my job. I have been in it for 10 years now. So I mean, this is something that I just love to do. So I think it's a gig, man. I think you would really like it.
Definitely, man. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna visit another office or two. I think we visited Army Reserves, and then we're gonna pop into Army National Guard and then Air Force too, and then just compare all of them and stuff. But yeah, definitely focused in, especially.
Why don't you do this? Yeah. Why don't you do this, man? You got my number right there in the chat. Have you seen everybody passing it around?
Yes. Yeah, I've got it.
Shoot me a text real quick with your name and like just put reserves. So I remember this conversation. I'd like to talk to you more offline about this and kind of get more deeper into it. But yeah, I don't want to miss that opportunity because we could sit here and I could talk to you for the next hour, but I'm sure everybody in here would be like, "What the hell are you doing?" But yeah, shoot me a text real quick with your name and like what you were interested in. And then I'll set up a time to call like whenever you're not super busy and I'm not super busy, and we'll knock this out. and
That sounds good.
make
Yeah,
sure make sure you get all the information. All right.
sounds great, man. I'll send you a text right now. Thanks so much for your time.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Who was next? Whoever is next.
Hello, sir.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, so recently I just got off from being sick, and that look, he did suck. But I did have a question on just how to keep fit, especially when like you're just like super sick and like your body doesn't want to work. Because I wasn't really working out during the week, and I haven't been running. I'm a little bit nervous to run, especially since I just got done recovering. But yeah, I just wanted to see if you had any advice or tips on that.
Yeah. I'm. Let me see real quick. Collins, you read? You in there? Trying to pull somebody in real fast. Personally, man, if he comes in, if he figures out how to come in, then he can help out here. But oh, there he is. Collins, did you hear that question?
I caught a little bit of it, basically like talking about fitness. He's coming off of being sick.
Yeah, wants to know how you stay motivated or how you're able to continue working out even though he's been sick and things like that.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I mean, like I'm fighting that same thing myself right now. But at the end of the day, it comes down to like what your goals are, man. How bad do you want whatever you're going after? Like you got to push through it. I mean, it's not gonna be fun, but anything that's a goal for you, man. At the end of the day, guess what? Like if you want it bad enough, you're gonna find ways to be able to still work out and still achieve whatever that goal is that you're going after, man.
Got it. Yeah,
What kind of
and
sickness are we talking about here, man? Are you like, how long have you been sick? And what is it something serious or are we talking like you had the flu?
uh, I was basically bedridden for the week. It was pretty bad. I couldn't even breathe really. But yeah, I'm just trying to be safe because I definitely want to run even though it's cold. And I'll admit, it definitely has me a little bit scared because I mean, I don't want to mess myself up further and just like delay myself because
Yeah.
injury.
Do you have a gym? Do you have a gym with a pool?
No, but there is one being built in my neighborhood right now.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say the best way to like continue your cardio type thing, right? If it's freezing outside, which it is, like everywhere right now. For me and Collins, it's a lot colder than most of you guys. But I was gonna say swimming is a good way to replace that cardio that you can't get in um, on the outside because of the temperature. You just drive to a pool and swim circuits and laps and things like that. Uh, Maybe try to go to the gym and I get it, you're sick, and it's like, oh, stay away from people, but man, I don't know, wear a mask or some shit. I don't know, or don't. I don't care. But get on a bike or something like that, and do whatever you got to do to try. But again, you know your body better than anybody else, and if you feel like it's not benefiting you, then just wait until you're better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm still doing the officer route right now. My college is going very good. I got a 3.7 GPA last semester. I
There
just
you
want to
go.
also know if you have any tips, especially for like, because I'm trying to go the officer route, like I said before. I just want to
Yep.
stay as competitive as possible. So, I mean, I'm still
Have we
like pretty
talked?
new.
Have we talked yet?
Hmm. I'm definitely gonna like transfer to a university after my 2 years at this community college I'm going to. But I
Okay.
don't really know if I should just wait it out and do OCS. I think someone here told me that like going ROTC was just a waste of time. But
Yes and no. It just all depends on your personal goal. I'll tell you what. You see Collins there that just hit you up.
yeah,
Send him a DM real quick too. about what you want to do, and he can help you as well with the officer route. Okay, and then we'll get that handled. Okay, but yeah, I mean OCS is probably a good if you can maintain your GPA. I would do OCS. Unfortunately, there's a real fine line of like, oh shit, my GPA is slipping, and I need to do ROTC. Right? You can't just on your senior year being like, oh damn, my GPA is trash. It's not competitive. I should go to ROTC. Like you can't. Like that ship has sailed, right? So just keep your GPA up, focus, and then keep OCS in your sights and do that, and we'll get you there, okay?
Okay, yeah, that's all my questions. Thank you, sir.
Yep, no problem, brother. Thank you. Shoot him a DM.
All right.
Who's next? Got a bunch of people in here. I don't know if there was a line, so just whoever it is, just start talking. No? Manny, you were here earlier. All right.
Good evening, Staff Sergeant Shell. How you doing, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm not doing so well, sir. So I was supposed to get everything squared away with my OCS package for this month, and my recruiter just, he was negligent. He didn't fill up all my paperwork on time, and now I'm asking for your advice to maybe switch recruiters or go somewhere else, because I have no clue.
Well, that's not really an advice question, right? That's a personnel type of question, and that's more of a. I mean, are you sure he was just negligent, or do you think he like just is new?
Yeah. So thank God.
Hold on, real quick, man.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
What you got for us, Sergeant?
Oh man, we didn't think you saw us in here.
I saw you guys, sir. I see everything.
We were trying to figure out how to talk. No,
Oh,
sorry.
there you go. You figured, okay. All right, Manny. So what were you thinking? So that's a personnel type question, right? So, it's how you feel, right? If you've lost trust and confidence in your recruiter,
yeah,
I'm not going to be the one that tells you like what you should and shouldn't do. Okay.
Okay.
I'm also not the one on these, YouTube or Discord out here trying to say, hey, don't, ditch him. Come work with me. Like, no, I mean, if the recruiter that you started working with is doing a good job and you're happy and everything's going well, why switch? You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for that. So, I'm also not going to turn you away if you did decide that this man or female has, just lost your confidence, right? So, whether they're lying to you or they're negligent or they just they're not making you a priority, whatever it is, if you just don't like it anymore and you want to switch, I'm not going to turn you away. Okay. So you let me know if that's something you want to do.
Okay.
And I've got resources and we can get you taken care of.
All right. Well, I was really far in the process, and he just forgot to submit a waiver, which he knew he was supposed to, and it just delayed everything. Now I have to wait for the next board to come up and sign up for it.
Well, wait, what? Forgot to submit a waiver?
Yep. Yeah.
What was the waiver for?
For my age.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's.
And,
you're gonna be really pissed off.
Yeah, he forgot to do the OPA too.
OPA?
Yep.
Age waiver takes a few hours, first of all. So you're gonna be really upset learning.
Yeah, out of the blue, he said, "Oh, I have facial surgery going on. I cannot help you," and basically, this left me stranded. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's not the right way to do it. But if he's got medical, I kind of understand why he can't help. But at the same time,
Yeah, if you
the
never
the
advise me, like,
professional way, right? Is that, well, you got to hand that off and be like, hey, back brief your the other recruiter, or the even better, the station commander, and you say, hey, I'm going on medical, or I got this surgery or whatever. Hey, Soren, here's this guy. Here's what I've done. Here's what he's trying to do. Can you get that done for me? And I'll come back after surgery or whatever. And I don't know. Hindsight's 2020. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So, if that's something you want to do, man, we can get
yeah,
that
I mean,
done.
thank
Easy.
God he's E7. I mean, she was checking everything, our paperwork, and he was missing like a whole column of my information. So she looked at him,
So
she looked at me, and she just shook her head and like, oh crap.
yeah, that's the station commander. So what did she say? I mean, well, I guess there's nothing to say.
Well,
She said we'll get you on the
she
next one.
well, she basically took over the whole process and filled everything that I was supposed to be on file, and then I mean, it took us like 3 hours to do that, like the entire afternoon.
Oh yeah.
And I just I
I'm
didn't want to talk.
assuming it was your family, your education, your where you lived, all that stuff, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
insanity.
I'm his first OCS candidate, so I think it's like he's leaving me like the bottom of the barrel, and then just neglects me and like forgets about me.
No, I understand. I understand it, but that's the wrong way to handle it. He should have asked for help. If he didn't know what he was doing, he should have said something, come up on the net and say like, "Hey, I don't know what I'm doing." Um,
Yeah.
I mean, right there, I do it daily, where I call my boss, who's in here, and I say, "Hey, help! I don't know what I'm doing. Never had to do this one yet, you know." So that's just how it works. You got, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to get in there and ask
Yep.
for that assistance. So, but
Okay.
hey,
So
man, like I told you, I'm not going to turn you away, but I don't know how you feel.
well, if I go to a different recruiter in the same office, will I get in trouble? I mean, like,
In
oh,
the
you
same
switched.
off?
Yeah.
No,
Or should I go to another
absolutely not.
recruiter office? Because I know you're a very busy guy, and
Well, I'm not that busy. It's my whole job, right? But and we've got a team of people, right? I mean, we have 2 states worth of people that work on this stuff. So, look, man, if you think that E7 in the station is going to take care of you, or you want to switch in the same station, that's fine. You're not going to get in any trouble. If you just want to cut ties with them completely because of this, and you want to work with me and my team, there's nothing
okay.
wrong with that either. And it'll work out for you. You're not going to have to redo anything. You've already been to MEPS, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I was going
passed
to say,
them.
please tell me you've been to MEPS.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, nothing gets redone.
Okay.
In fact, that thing you sat there for 3 hours doing, we'll pull that packet straight over. No issues.
Okay.
It just is what it is. I mean, I'm sorry you're going through that. That sucks,
Yeah, man, it's so disappointing, But it is what it is. I don't want to like because I know it's probably like testing me on my behavior. To be an officer, you need to keep your cool and not to overreact.
No,
So,
that's not a test. No,
yeah.
there's
So
no test with that. That's not how. That's them dropping the ball. Okay. The test is, did you go to the board or anything like that? You didn't even go to the board yet, did you?
no, I was supposed to go to the next board next week.
Yeah, that's your test. They're gonna ask you a
Yep.
bunch of shit like that there. This is simply just a drop the ball, oops moment, which oops now has delayed you an entire quarter.
Yep.
So
It is
yeah,
what
I
it is.
mean,
So.
yeah, exactly. I mean, here's the deal, bro. You could sit there and like mope about it, and you'd be in the right to do so because it's jacked up. Um, but there's nothing you can do about it, right? So, but like I tell people this on here all the time because it's the best advice I ever got, and it came from my dad, right? He told me you're borrowing trouble. If there's nothing you can do to change the situation you're in right now, like can you do something that affects it? If the answer is no, then there's no reason to be upset because you're just being upset for no reason, right? You're borrowing that trouble. If there's something you can do to change or affect the situation, then shut up and do it, you know? But for you, there's nothing you can do. So you're borrowing trouble. I wouldn't get upset about it. Does it suck? Hell yeah. Now you just make a decision. How are you going to affect it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And just one question out of the this whole debacle.
Yeah.
What is supposed to be our pace during rocking?
Oh, your pace during rucking.
Yeah.
Are you trying to do something special? What
Well,
type of officer are you trying to be?
yeah. Well, I want to stay like in good physical shape when I get there, and I'm shooting for intel, but it's not going to happen. But so most likely it's going to be any other branch. But I want to be in good shape so I can stand out and hopefully get selected later.
Right. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. I forgot this completely.
I think, well, right now I'm doing a 15-minute pace. I think that's the baseline, but I know they want you to do a 12-minute pace for your 12-mile run.
Well, how heavy is your ruck?
Right now, 20, switching to 30 pounds next week.
Okay. Yeah, I would stay at your exact pace you're on. Okay, but you need to be rucking with a 35-pound ruck.
Right.
Okay.
I'm following Jake's, Army
Oh,
Ranger
okay. You got the
PDF.
PDF?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. In the PDF, you're doing fine. You're on the pace. Yeah, I would be at. I would say. Make sure it's a dry ruck too, but
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
you're looking at a standard is 15 minutes per mile, but if you're trying to do, any sort of ranger or special forces stuff, then you're gonna need to significantly kick that up, that timing.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Eventually you have to jog it, and just run.
Oh yeah, I mean special forces. I mean it's an unknown distance and pace, so you need to be moving. You'll see guys running, so don't like. I don't suggest training that way right now, because you will hurt yourself.
No, I don't.
Yeah, just follow the PDF. It's meant to not destroy you, and it's meant to train you. So follow the PDF, and you'll be fine.
Right. Okay. All right, Steph. Thanks for the.
All right. Hey, I'm sorry that happened to you, bro. But you got my number in the bio. If you need to, just shoot me a text here offline. Remind me who you are, and then we'll get to work for you right away.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yep. Thank you, Manny. Who's next? Nick, I think I saw you pop in. Or Nash,
Hello?
whoever. Nash, what's up?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, cool. Yeah, just I'm gonna just give you a little bit of details, then we'll go from there. Currently
Okay.
34 years old. Yeah, just have a bachelor's degree. Just graduated last December. And originally I wanted to go into law school. It's gonna be a little bit of expensive, but that's later down the road. Law, you can always get into it even later in life. But I want to also mention that when I was 18, I went and enlisted, 19 kilo. Didn't make it through because of pattern of misconduct back in I was 18, a knucklehead, and got cycled out with a reentry code 3. They told me, hey, you can come back. I didn't do that. I went in the workforce, worked in sales, uh, logistics for 10 plus years. And then I went back to college and, thinking later in life, I'm going to go into law school. But
Okay.
I always revisited the idea that you know, in the civilian world, you have jobs, you can make good money and stuff, and it's really not the money. It's I think for myself, it's just the higher purpose. You know, I immigrated to the United States in 2004 from Greece, so I always wanted to feel like, hey man, you become a citizen, you join this country, you can give your service back just as it gave it to you to be able to go to college and things like that, right? So
Yeah.
unfortunately, when I was 18, I was a knucklehead. I didn't want to do it. Family was like, just do it. It'll be good for you. And then I got cycled out, reentry code 3. And so here I am, 34 years old, more mature. I understand more about myself, my strengths, my weaknesses. So yeah, I'm fully committed to this. So the only questions that I have is the age. I'm 34 years old. I don't have a job specific, and I'm between the Navy and, of course, the Army because I was in early in my life. So I'm pretty committed in terms of working out, getting those, you know, getting those squared away. And I think I'm going to need a waiver. So I already know that I'm going to need a waiver. Go in front of the board, say, hey, you know,
What for?
I think the conversation is going to be, why do you want to join after you already tried it once?
Yeah, you talking about your
So
age?
yeah. To me, 34, I was like, man, is it too late, to go in
You
as an
don't.
officer?
You don't. Right now, if you enlisted today, you would not need a waiver.
Okay, yeah.
Now,
And that's the thing. I
the
don't know if I
second you
want to
turn,
do that.
well, if you turn 35, now you need a waiver. So you're on the edge of needing and not needing a
Okay.
waiver.
Okay. Cool. I turned 35 this November, so maybe I have time.
Yeah, you 100% have time. If you said you're committed and you wanted to start
Yeah, absolutely.
tomorrow,
I gave myself six
process.
months.
Yeah.
So from January to July, I already had spoken to a recruiter in the Navy. I wasn't really. All they said was, like, okay, your grades were good. You have a over 3.0, so you're good there. You've been working.
Are you
You're
trying
more
to do
mature now.
officer or trying to be? Are you trying to be an officer?
Yeah. I was thinking about it since I have a
Okay,
college
I'm just
degree.
trying. Yeah, I'm trying to get it going. hmm
Yeah,
Um, let me
yeah,
ask
that's
you,
about it.
what do you, when you picture your military service in your head, what do you see?
Yeah. I see 20 years of service. I see just making it a career rather than I'm just go in a little bit. And then
What,
you got to
what do
think
you
about like
physically
listening.
see? Like, what is
Uh,
that like? What does that picture in your head look like? Is it, um, you know, at the range, you and your boys shooting, or what is it? What do you see in your head when you think I'm gonna go to the military? What's that like video in your head going?
yeah. So, it's either because I kind of am familiar a little bit with the enlisted side just slightly. Um, I don't know if it's like, you know, infantry or like back into a combat MOS. I'm not too sure. I don't know
Okay.
in terms of a job. I just know that um, this is something that like I'm kind of figuring out now in
So
terms of what
here's my
the job looks
the
like.
reason I ask that, right? The reason I ask you that is because the two options you gave are drastically different. Okay. Now,
Yeah,
if you look at that and in your head you're like, yeah, I want to serve in the military. I know I do. Um,
yeah.
does that picture look like, hey, I'm on a boat out at sea and we're doing,
Oh,
my work from the
yeah.
office or I'm doing whatever? Or is that like, hey, no, I'm like, we're in the field setting up tents. I got my own platoon, things like that. That's more along the lines of what I was
Yeah,
wondering.
absolutely,
Cause
absolutely. I
so
had
I mean,
a little bit of that
that's where
taste,
it's
and I
at.
do like the field stuff. I mean, I did enjoy it. I mean, I just wasn't mentally mature enough to see what I was getting into, and so I
Right.
did enjoy the field. Your ruck marches, your 5Ks and things like that. So I did enjoy that. I did. I mean, when I went in at 18, I didn't know nothing about an M4 or any of that stuff, and it really boosted that
Yeah.
sort of and it was exciting. It is exciting. Now I'm a little older, so I'm like, okay, well, but can you sustain it? Can you sustain that sort of rigorous lifestyle if you're going to do a combat MLS? Can you sustain that? Are you
Yeah.
committed for the next 20 years doing that? And I think that's something that I'm still figuring out. Now, as far as the boat thing, I you know I don't know anything about the Navy, so I had one friend. He went in the Navy, enlisted. He did his time. He's now living in Japan, whatever. It sounds a lot of fun, but then you got to think about, you know, can I also further education, do some, prep for like law school in the future. Um, so there's a few things that I have to iron out in terms of what that lifestyle. I'm more familiar with the Army. I I'm more confident with the
Yeah.
Army
I mean,
because I
here's my thing. Right? Here's my thing, and
yeah
again, I have to disclaimer. I'm obviously
yeah
biased, but this
right,
one
right.
I'm probably going to knock out of the park because what you're describing is something that I'm currently doing in my own personal life. I am working in
Yeah,
my undergrad, and directly after this, I'm going to law school.
okay,
Um,
yeah,
I've been able to continue this education path while on it, while being extremely busy. Okay. Um, very, very busy. So I do a lot for work, and I have two kids and a wife, and they deserve attention too. So my schedule is packed, right? But I still find time for my schoolwork and the ability to, you know, check all the boxes. Okay. So with that being said, I'm partial to the Army just because I'm experiencing exactly what you're asking about, right? So
yeah,
if I had to say something, I don't know how. I know you can get like Wi-Fi in the boats nowadays.
yeah.
I don't know if it's all the time, if you're allowed to all the time, or how that works. I remember reading that. I think that she was a captain or something. She had her own boat. She got in a lot of trouble because she had that. What do you call that? Elon's like Starlink. She put Starlink on a boat,
What?
and yeah, she put the Starlink on a
Um,
naval warship, and
it's
she ended up.
the group chat we're the part of
Oh,
the thing we were talking about. It's like
hey,
special ops, but also just get advice
you're
just in
you
general about joining
gotta
and stuff. And it's like a
mute.
it's a large community.
Ow,
They've got like 100,000
ow,
followers on YouTube, but
ow.
I think JD knows some of these guys, and so because he was in for so long, and just with the academy and stuff.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's
Um,
okay.
people forget there's a mute button. Um, no. So anyway, with that being said, you
Yeah,
need to kind of determine like what's best for you. Okay,
yeah,
and you kind of already know the gig with the Army, right? You've
yeah,
experienced it, whether the experience was good, bad, or the ugly, whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. You're a whole different person now. So I wouldn't even take my experience there and
yeah,
factor it in. You know what I'm saying? I would look at it like, okay, the only advantages I have here is the fact that RE3, we're going to be able to get that. We're going to be able to get that RE3 approved through the Army pretty easy with your situation just because of the age difference that you had from when you got removed. It's going to be pretty easy to do. Um,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, the Navy guy
What's
told
your
me, he's
final
like,
GPA?
the Navy guy told me pretty much, he's like, yeah, I mean, you did college, you don't have any record, so
Right.
it's not like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm not worried about that RA3 at all. So that's not even a big deal. If you started, like I said, if you start now, um, I'm not even worried about your age because you've got enough time that we could get you in prior to that. Now,
yeah,
if it happens where you, I don't know, maybe your ship out time is past your 35th birthday, you'll need that waiver. It takes a few hours, bro, to get that done. I'm not worried about that either. It's a no
right,
brainer, super simple.
yeah,
Yeah. Personally, man, you want advice? I don't think the Navy's a bad idea, but you've already experienced the Army. You already know what to expect. You've already seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
I know for a fact it allows me to do schoolwork and continue my education. Um, like I said, I'm working on my bachelor's in legal services, so that way I can roll that stuff right into law school.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, it's your life, and you got to make that decision. But I really think that the Army is obviously the best spot for you, particularly.
Yeah, I think also with the job selections, the Army having a lot more jobs. I think also one of the things I was kind of concerned about is the idea of when you get there, and I don't know, there was some information. That's why I stayed away from the Air Force. Not that I really understood it, but I had a recruiter talk to me about it. I just felt like if I had a STEM degree, potentially Air Force, you know, but so when I think of serving, I think I think of the Army. I think of like more action, so to speak. Not saying that the Air Force is bad or anything, but just me personally, I that's how I envision it. So I flip flop between the Navy and the Army. Now the Army, the good thing is the jobs, right? The fact that there is a lot more jobs, and potentially there's a lot more slots. So
Yeah.
that's another thing to consider because if I go Navy and then there's no slots, I don't know what happens. What happens when you go to OCS? You pass OCS, but then there's no slots. What happens there, right? What happens?
Nothing. Yeah,
So to
you
me,
get
that's a
to
concern too.
leave.
What's that?
Yeah. I said that nothing actually. You end up leaving, or they offer you something that you don't want to do, and which is
Yeah.
basically them asking you to leave. They give you something that they know you're going to turn down, and then you would just leave. No, I think you're right. I mean, we're the biggest branch. We have the most personnel, most opportunity for a reason. I mean, it just is what it is. It's an unfair advantage, but I don't care. I'm on the winning team, so um, yeah. I mean, that's how it breaks down, man.
Yeah, so that to me is a big factor too, is the success of actually getting in, right? Because you're going to go through all of this work, and if there's no slots, that's why I stayed away from the Air Force because I think most of the most of the officers are coming from the academy. I think maybe even the Navy does that, so I wasn't too sure, and being more familiar with the Army, I was like, okay, well, it's Army or Navy. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so I'm based out of
Well,
Houston,
and then you're
Texas.
in the same boat, man. You're literally in the same boat. Like, no pun intended, but like
Yeah.
when you think of military, you think Army. Well, the Navy is a drastic difference in experiences. It's not that.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I loved it. I have to say it this way. They're neither one of those two are wrong. It's just what do you prefer? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
some people prefer that vision of the Navy. Like that's all they thought about their whole life. Like I want to serve and I want to go do this. And I picture myself, on a boat shooting huge guns or, whatever it is. I don't know. It wasn't me. Shit scares the hell out of me. I don't want to be on open water. But
Yeah.
I mean, yourself, you explained the opposite, which is like out in the field and doing Army stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's a familiar place, and being an officer too, you're out on the field too. So I mean, I'm sure the Army has desk jobs for you too, but at the same time, that's where I was kind of like, okay, well, if we're looking in the Army, okay, then then I'll have to say, okay, with what kind of jobs are we looking at? I mean,
Right.
even the 19 kilo when I was in, that was exhilarating. In fact, if I would have stayed in if I wasn't a knucklehead, I would have been with the striker unit in Washington. I don't know exactly which unit it was, but I know it was like a striker unit in Washington. That was. I remember. I looked at that and I was like, man, you kind of screwed this up, didn't you? And I'm getting cycled out. So that sort of environment is something I'm more familiar with, and I like it. I think the Navy part was because you know my friend was in the Navy, so he's going to be biased towards the Navy. He was enlisted, so he was saying, well, officers in the Navy have way, better lifestyle or living conditions and things like that. But you're still stuck on a boat. So if we're looking at like education wise, prepping for law school, that to me is a bit of a concern because think of it like you do 20 years, but then you haven't prepped for law school, and law school is rigorous. You know, you're gonna take the LSAT and then go in 3 years of academics. That's gonna be, probably at least for me, I think it's gonna be pretty hard. So you want to be able to prep for that, and I think in the Navy and the deployments and being out in sea, you might not be able to, and that's just a real objective reality that I'm looking at with the Navy. But as you said, yeah, the Army, it seems like there is a better opportunity of doing that. There's also the thing, and you might know this because you're prepping for law school. Um, so in the Army, it allows me to go get a second bachelor's degree in STEM, and the reason why would I would do that is because patent law. In order to get into patent law, you need a STEM degree, and so that's an option too, and then go into patent. So that's an option in the Army, but it's not an option in the Navy. So that's.
I mean, hey brother, I'm gonna break it down, but I think it sounds like you got it figured out.
Yeah, I think it's. I hadn't talked to an Army recruiter yet. Um, I think the Navy guy was the only guy I talked to. So yeah, I think if I start moving that steps and um, prep for the test because I haven't done anything yet, right? I'm just physically getting myself ready.
Well,
I don't
why
have
don't we
kids
do
or
this,
anything
man?
like that. So
Why don't we do this? Like,
yeah,
send me a text. You got my number right there, right? It's in the chat. It's in the chat everywhere. I don't know. These guys keep helping me out and bumping it back down. Somebody about to do it here in a second. Did they do it yet?
Yeah.
Right here on in our little the recruiting channel, you see all the people's names and then that little bubble chat down there. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's going crazy. I don't know. I gotta turn my head. Somebody do it yet? No. Damn it. I don't know who Pumger is, but no.
I can DM you if you'd like. We can go from there.
Here it is. I think I found it.
Okay, there it is. I see it. Cool.
There it is. But yeah, man. I mean, look, there's options everywhere. I think with the Army and the Navy, they're both good decisions. But all we gotta do is right now, you got a couple things, right? You're 34 years old, so you're gonna have an extensive medical background, whether that's been being sick or whatever it is, right? They might have some questions on it at MEPS. Here's my $1 million question to you. If they told you no to OCS, whether that be medical, law, too many tickets, or your RE3 or whatever it may be, right? Yeah. If they told you no, would you still enlist?
Most likely, yeah. Most likely. The reason being is I think it's the. I mean, if they say no, does that rule it out even if you enlist and then later go from what is that?
No. Green to gold.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you can still do that.
Yeah. So
no is never no forever. It's never no forever. It's no, not at this time.
Yeah. Right. I mean, physically, medically, like I haven't had anything medically, so yeah. I mean, unless they just say like, I don't know, unless some crazy thing happens where I've
had people find out they're colorblind at MEPS. Never knew it. They found out at MEPS that the military told them, "Hey, did you know you're colorblind?" No, that's crazy. But I guess it makes sense. Like if you never, how would you know? But
right.
I've had female applicants find out they were pregnant at MEPS. Super fun time. Yeah, no, there's a lot of crazy shit that happens at MEPS, man. So don't rule it out. But here's what I would do. Okay, you need to send me a text, right? Let's look at options. Let's start it because you're 34. Okay, I understand the whole like I want to make sure I'm ready. Start the process. We've got the process itself could take 3 months, right, just to get you there, depending on all the variables I was just talking about. And then after that, I mean, now we got to get you to MEPS. If you draw a waiver at MEPS, you know, all these things factor in. So start now. It doesn't hurt to start now. It's just because you start rolling the ball forward doesn't mean the ball has to continue rolling. Like we can stop the ball at any point, right? But start now, okay? Because um, it's just not good. Time's not on your side. I'm just gonna be frank.
Yeah, that's. I mean, because I mean, what is the restrictions on age waivers? Like, what's potentially the reason why they may deny an age waiver at 35? Is it could it? I mean, is there a standard there where they would say
No, there's no standard because they're gonna have you write a letter stating why you want to join so late in life, and they're gonna read it. I mean, if they don't like what's being said on the letter, then they may say no. But I'm gonna be honest, I've never seen one get denied. I'm just telling you from a standpoint of, you know, you want to do 20 years, you want to do all these things, right? But I mean, you're going to be looking at 55 years old by the time you retire, right? So let's get going, start this process, and your OCS or like when you get to, you know, Bullock and all the officer leadership, all that stuff, you're going to be able to do workouts. You're going to have full gym exposure. So the biggest mistake people make, especially in this Discord, right, is they train until they hit the checkpoint, and they're like, okay, now I've gotten there. Now let's start the process. You can do all of these things at the same time, right? Like start the process, continue training, and get there, and then go through all the basic officer leadership, and then continue training. If you want to go to special forces or whatever crazy stuff after that, just keep training for it. But now you're in the Army and you're getting paid full time to prepare for this shit, right? Everybody waits. It's like I don't get it. You should be racing to get in, especially right now where the Army, we're 6 months away from the Army being like, okay, thank you, we've got enough. And like, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself if that happens, right? So you need to get in now. It's a sense of urgency that we need to move, okay? Especially with things that need any sort of waiver. I don't care if it's an age waiver, simple marijuana use waiver, nothing. Like, at some point, the Army's going to be able to say no waivers at all, and we're going to be in a weird position now. Okay, me and Jake started telling everybody last year that the Army was going to start tightening up shit. Well, they have drastically. They've started. At one point, they shrunk the jobs to 10. They're like, nope, if you don't want to be any of these 10, you know, piss off. And that's what I'm getting at, man. So like time is not on anybody's side. If this is something you want to do, start now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that's the next step then. I mean, I kind of got a little clear on some of the doubts and stuff. I mean, physically, I'm, you know, I haven't, you know, because as you get older, you kind of let yourself go. I mean, thankfully, I haven't done that, so I'm kind of ready. It was just more of about getting in contact with the right people and seeing what the options are there.
Yeah. No, I got you, man. Hey, like I told you, I'm here. If you want to start now, shoot me a text, say let's go. All right. Name and what you're interested in. Tell me your age so that way I remember our conversation because it'll click for me, okay?
Yeah. All right.
All right. My number's right there in the chat box, so shoot me a text, okay?
Gotcha.
What was that?
Got it right.
Sir, is that you?
Yep, that's me. Officer perspective here.
Yep.
If you're trying to go OCS, do it now. I know that it doesn't seem like it makes a big difference at 34 versus 35 versus 36. You know, you can still do 20 years and retire before 60 and all that. Yeah. But I'm telling you, everything is stricter on the officer side. yes, you do have to, immediately make all the physical requirements and meet height and weight and all that. But what would be a couple hour long age waiver to enlist is going to be a longer and more scrutinized process to become an officer. Similarly, your RE3, while I was listening to you talk, I was like, man, yeah, I'd sign off on that all day long. That is going to be a longer process for OCS. So that ball needs to get rolling now while you still continue to work on, the physical side of things and everything else. But any waiver is looked at 2-3 times as hard if you're trying to become an officer.
You get that, brother?
Copy that.
Hey, that's you heard it from the horse's mouth. That's the man who's going to sign your waiver.
That's right. All right.
I'm
Well,
telling you.
I'm in Houston, Texas, so I don't know if does that pose a problem being from Houston. I mean,
no, brother, I send people everywhere, all over the country. I've put people in from almost every state on the map. So no, it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
All right, just reach out and we'll get it handled for you. Okay.
Got it. Got it.
All right. You have a good night, brother. Thanks for coming in.
You as well. Have a good one.
Yep, you too. Max or Nick.
I was just gonna ask about sign-on bonuses. I signed in October with an option 40, and at the time he said there's nothing available, which is fine. I'm not doing it for the money, but if there is something available, obviously I'd like to have it. So I'm just wondering how that works, and if he's just lying or what.
No, generally recruiters aren't just lying about bonuses because it costs us nothing. It's not like when you go to buy a car, it's not like they're trying to hold money to make profit or anything. It literally means nothing to us whether you get a $50,000 bonus or a $0 bonus. So if there was no bonus, then there was no bonus. Do you have a GED?
No, I'm a senior right now. I'm gonna graduate with an associate's.
Okay. Damn. Wait, you're a senior in high school?
Yeah, I'm an early college program, so I'm doing all dual credit for the last 2 years.
That's pretty good. That's nice, smart. Yeah, no. So if there was no bonus, there was just no bonus, right? So what I would suggest you do is when you get to RASP and all that stuff, ask if there was any Ranger bonuses that because you didn't get any Ranger bonus, and see if they can pull some money out of their hat. Sometimes they can. Kind of earlier when I was talking about the Ranger volunteer, that's how that works. When you get there, if there was any Ranger bonuses available, then they'll add it to that contract at that point.
Okay, and that's probably
I would ask there.
Completion. Okay, that's paid on
Correct. You have to. Yes. So bonuses are always dependent on the MOS themselves, right? So if you're signing a contract or I'm giving you a bonus to become an 11 X-ray as a Ranger, right? If you become an 11 X-ray and then you don't do the Ranger, well, then you didn't complete the contract obligation. Or if you switch your job, now the bonuses could change or you could get nothing, right? So it just depends. It's all based on the MOS and what you sign for.
Okay. And then one last thing, I know Jake talks a lot about not thinking like too far ahead, but my contract's 4 years. It's a 11B option 40, and I graduate with an associate's. It'll put me in as an E3, which is nice because of a small little pay boost. But I was kind of wondering, over those 4 years, what do you think the best path for me would be in terms of maybe eventually becoming an officer? Like, do you think the graded gold program is better, or spending 2 years doing like online classes at some college,
No,
having my bachelor's,
absolutely
and
not.
then going up?
No, go to the Army. It's the same thing as any company, right? Like green to gold gets accepted at a high rate within the Army because think about it, they don't have to retrain this person. They're not new to the Army. They know how the organization runs. They got the rank structure down. They've been in the Army. They have experience. Hiring somebody from within in a manager's position at any company is what they would prefer to do versus reaching out and finding somebody new. You got to teach that person everything. The hiring from inside, you only have to teach that level that they're applying to, right? So that's how the Army's going to take it. They're going to just teach you that basic officer stuff versus, oh shit, let's get them done with all these other things too, right? So, and you're going to get paid the whole time you're in the Army, and you're going to get to use what's called tuition assistance. Okay, so that's how I'm doing my degree. So tuition assistance is you get $4,000 a year now to use basically to take classes, and that doesn't even touch your GI Bill, right? So you take those classes, you spend the $4,000 a year on schooling, and once the money's up, you I don't know, take a break. I only take one class a semester, mostly because of how busy I am. But you can kind of choose how many you'd like to take using that money, and then your GI Bill is untouched in savings. So if you want to like further that education when you get out, you can, or you could do like I'm doing. I'm sure you're. I mean, you're young. You're not thinking this way yet, but I've got kids. I have a family. I don't need my GI Bill at all. So I gave it to my daughter. And the reason I'm giving it to my youngest and my daughter is because my son has already told me he's going to the Army. He's going to have his own, right? He wants to go to West Point. We're going to West Point, right? So that's kind of how I viewed it. And that's something that you could also do later in life. You're 18. Don't think about kids and marriage right now. I'm just kind of telling you. You did this, though. You said, let's talk about the future. So I went way in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
And then, yeah. So in terms of difference between a warrant officer and officer, why wouldn't I want to go warrant officer, for example, when the pay is similar? I would maybe want to do something in aviation later down the line, but I wouldn't have to get a
Yeah.
degree for that either.
No, you don't. So that's really I think more of a preference thing. Commissioned officers do make a little more money than a warrant officer does. So like long term wise, I mean, it would benefit you just to be commissioned. And they can fly too, just so you know. But I think it's a preference thing. And you wouldn't, you're right. You would, if you didn't finish your degree and say you get to the point in the Army where you can apply to be a warrant officer and you still don't have a degree and you just time to take that next step, yeah, go ahead. I would go warrant. I've thought about it many times. I just don't like the way recruiting uses their warrants and I don't want anything to do with that. So I decided no.
Yeah. Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. And Nick, what's up?
Hey, Staff Sergeant Shell, can you hear me?
I can.
All right. This is Nick from earlier, 31-year-old with a pre-med degree, thinking about finance officer. You know, do the degree 2 years and then do the OCS packet.
Yeah, we talked earlier on the phone, right?
Yeah. We talked a little bit earlier. I didn't have any questions then, but you know, listening to the Discord, I do have one particular question. So, since I'm going to be starting my accounting program in the summer, so this coming summer, I mean, being older, I'm 31. Would there be any benefit or any, I guess, kind of advantage of possibly doing ROTC with the school that I would be at? I know it's like for the scholarship, but I wouldn't be going for the scholarship. No.
No, I'm saying I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's not a bad plan. I mean, ROTC is going to guarantee a commission regardless of GPA too. So that's generally kind of why I don't mind ROTC. Now I will say it's a little hit or miss on how they're going to branch you into what job, I guess is the best way to put it, like your MOS.
Mm-hmm.
Is a little hit or miss with ROTC, but you could always rebranch as an officer, right? I've been told, I'm sure Sir can elaborate, that it's kind of frowned upon, but I don't think it's a big deal. I think you'd be able to rebranch if you want to into finance, like we talked earlier. But
right.
I think ROTC is a great option to get in the Army as a commissioned officer. Okay, it's probably the easiest way to do it, if I had to say.
Got it. Yeah, because in New York, I know there was like a couple of schools, but the school that I'll actually Okay.
You. Oh, never mind. Okay, you go ahead, Nick.
Oh yeah, sorry. Hey, if
There
you're
he
trying
goes.
to go finance, it is an absolutely tiny career field. Do not count on getting it out of OCS. You need to be doing ROTC so that you have the two-sided job selection marketplace. Otherwise, OCS is there to fill essentially the extra officer slots that West Point and ROTC can't fill. So it's just there as a safety valve. The odds of getting it out of OCS are very low.
Sir, do you still know? Sir, do you still know if that direct commission program for finance is available?
I'm not sure. The AMET folks cover all of the direct commissions, so that's not even through us.
Yeah, because they do a direct commission for 25 alphas and stuff like that. If you had like a computer science degree and stuff, I have a whole guide to that. But I also know that there was one for finance. I just haven't seen it in a long, long time. So, and Nick, I still owe you that answer because we did talk today earlier. And I will be researching that and trying to find that out for you.
If you find that, send it to me too. I've
Yeah.
actually been talking to another guy interested in being a finance officer.
Okay. Yeah, I got you, sir. But yeah, there you go, Nick. That's what I would do. In fact, it's right there. I would definitely go ROTC if you can get into that program.
Okay. Yeah, because when I was looking, I was thinking about nursing school back in the day, but it just came to a point, as a former EMT and going the whole pre-med route, and I'm just like, it's just not my cup of tea anymore. So I was looking at Stony Brook as a host school because Hofstra is the big one in New York for the Army. But I don't know how it would work because the school that I'm getting my accounting degree from this summer is SUNY Plattsburgh. So I'm assuming that I would have to either just contact Hofstra or Stony Brook and see if I can do their program, I guess.
Yeah, contact whatever school has the ROTC. Get the number to the ROTC. There's going to be a recruiter there, and call that person, and they're going to know exactly how to get you over there and what to do.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you're never alone in these things, man. There's somebody out there getting paid to answer these questions and to do that shit for you. So don't suffer in silence trying to figure it out on your own. Obviously, use me or this Discord as a resource, but there is a recruiter assigned to, and they're not in the Army anymore. Generally, they're usually like a retired officer or something, right? That is in charge of recruiting for that school's ROTC program.
Got it. Okay. And then my
All
last
right.
question,
I appreciate it, Nick.
yeah, I got one
Yep.
more in regards to ROTC then. So if you like go through the end, right, you complete it, is there like a straight like active duty or you kind of get to pick like, hey, I want to go reserves, etc.
Yeah, so I make it known in the beginning, right? But yeah, you kind of get the choice of there unless you decide to do what's called like an SMP program. If you went to like the reserves and simultaneously we're doing the ROTC program, you're going to be reserve or guard. But yeah, I would make it known very much that you want to be active.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I heard something about an SMP where you get like E5 pay or something, but it's through the National Guard, and it was just like a whole complicated type of process that I'm just like, well,
it's pretty complicated, and I'm not gonna lie to you. The ROTC programs hate it, and it would pretty much only make sure that you could only be part time and not active.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you so
Appreciate
much. I'll
you,
send you a text, and thank you so much for your help.
Of course. Mac, you're the last question of the night. What's up, man?
Hey, Sergeant Shell. Just had a few quick, small questions. The first one was, is there a reserve element for SOAR 160 and or Ranger Battalion?
No.
Regiment. Okay.
No.
And then the other thing is, how does the whole thing works when you, let's say, you sign up for um, 18X, National Guard, but then recruiters come, to give you other contracts, so you can change your contracts, or how does that work?
Okay, I don't know if I understood the question, but like you're talking if you sign for an 18X in the National
Yeah.
Guard, what happens
hmm
there?
Yeah, what happened? Because I heard that there's people that you can pick up option 40, and you can modify your contracts
No,
or certain things
you
like
can't.
that.
You're not gonna get the only Rangers have National Guardsmen are prior service active. Okay, so you're not getting Ranger School in the Guard. So the other side to this is if if you want 18 X-ray, you got to go active. Okay, because
Mhm.
from what I've been seeing and getting phone calls about constantly are guys in the Guard asking how to get out of the Guard because what they'll do is they've been signing 18X contracts, but they're like, hey, just sign an 11X right now, and then they put them on a training team with 19th and 20th group, and it's like a waiting list where they can send you to SFAS when they get more slots. Um, I said it earlier, the recruiting is killing it. So is the Guard. They're killing it. So they don't have a lot of slots for SFAS, and they use them up quick. And when they're used up, they start a waiting list with an IOU. Um, the guys that I've talked to have been on the waiting list for 2 years and haven't seen SFAS yet. So they're upset a lot, but that's not something I would suggest if it's very important to you, right? If you're like, hey, 18X, so I want to do. Why would you want to go to the Guard? What do you got going on in life?
Well, I mean, I have a, career. I have a project management gig. Yeah, it pays
Mhm.
decent. I don't have a family. I'm in my 30s. So I don't know. Just to be able to get a taste of it, I can always switch to active duty if I wanted to. That was kind of the rationale, and have the freedom, and especially like being
Yeah,
older, don't want to
that's
put all
that's
my
not
chips.
that's not a thing either, man. Like it's extremely difficult to switch from Guard to active.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make it sound like it's not, but it is very hard. Depending on the
Mhm.
state, sometimes it's impossible. Okay, like I worked in Illinois for a long time. You signed up for the Illinois
Mhm.
National Guard. You were doing 6 years in the Illinois National Guard. You were not getting out. I was like, well, damn. I tried many, many times and got told no every time. So I've never seen a 368 get signed or come back from Illinois. It happens
Even
here.
like inner service, like if you go to a different state, if you move into a different guard unit, or is that easier?
I've only seen no. It goes by the state because the 368's authority is the first general officer in the chain of command. So that's usually a person that runs the entire state. So if they don't want to let
Okay,
anybody go, then they're not going to let them go.
gotcha.
Yeah. So I mean,
Um,
look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you make good enough money that you don't want to go right away, um, I would just I would maybe look at the reserves to scratch that itch a little bit and get a job that doesn't like maybe it interests you a little bit. But if that's not the way you want to do it, and you're like, no, I want to do cool guy stuff, you got to either go active or you got to put that on the shelf and understand that this wasn't cut out for you.
yeah, I mean, um, I guess I see what you're saying, but
Do you understand though? Like, here's the thing: because if you try to do these things and you go to the Guard, you trust the process, and you go there, and then next thing you know, you're stuck in some weird training unit that doesn't send you to where you want to go. You're just gonna be salty about it. You're just gonna be pissed. Then you're gonna turn around and tell everybody the Army sucks that you talk to, and you're gonna do more damage to recruiting, which is my bread and butter, than it's worth, right? So
mm,
I'm gonna be honest. Like that's the only reason I'm selling you. Like if you're
yeah,
not in it fully, like just don't do it, man. You're making decent money. Stick with that.
yeah,
Um, if you really want to scratch that
yeah.
military itch and
Uh, I'm just kind
you
of,
know,
I'm kind of
Go
like
ahead.
over the whole, office politics and things like that. I just, I done some stuff back in the day as a contractor, so doing GWAT,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what excited me. I have an idea of how it works. I was just never enlisted. Um,
Yeah.
that's why I appreciated, just working with Rangers a little bit, even on a mission with Green Berets and stuff like that.
Well, then,
So,
yeah, then you should go active, man. I mean, look, the best way to do it would be do a short contract on 11 X-ray, 4 years with a Ranger volunteer, like I was explaining earlier. Go try out for
yeah.
RASP. Try to be a Ranger. You know what I'm saying? And then like it's 4 years. I mean, in the worst case scenario, you're done after four. Whatever. Good job. High five. Thank you for your service. You know what I mean? Now you did it, right? You scratched that itch. You figured it out. Best case scenario, you absolutely love it, and you have a new career that you love and you're proud of.
Yeah. And then as far as like why not 18X though in the active?
Well, you could. That's just 6 years, though.
Oh, that's minimum 6, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they did for a while. They did like a 4 year, and then if you made it, you would have to re up for the 6. And I think it might still be there. I just haven't seen the option in a while. Um, but that's something we can explore at that point. Like, hey, can we just do a 4 year? They had them out a while ago. And the reason behind that was if you didn't make it, you didn't pass SFAS, then you were only in for 4 years as an infantryman, right? If you do pass SFAS, they're immediately going to have you re-enlist for the amount that you need to have, which I don't think you're going to give a shit because you're a Green Beret. Who cares?
Yeah, that's right. And then because my understanding was like 3 years was the minimum as far as like active time, and then 3 years on top of it, like for the reserve time, or like the individual ready reserve or whatever.
Yeah. So the minimum contract for active duty is 2 years. I don't ever talk about it because it's stupid. You don't get any benefits from it. So we started 3. Okay. So you do 3 years. Every contract is actually 8 years. Okay. So 3 active, the remainder be inactive ready reserve time, right? Or IRR. So that's how those work. Now with 18 X-ray, certain jobs need more uh, service commitment time, right? So if it's a long training, they want you to actually be active for a certain amount of time, right? So the 18 X-ray pipeline, in some cases, like an 18 Delta, could be 2 years long. So if your 4 year contract and 2 of those years is in training, that means the Army's only getting 2 years of active time out of you. They don't want that. They put a lot of money and time into you. They want to get theirs back. Government doesn't lose. You know that. So that's the point of like do a 4 year, right? If they still have the option. Okay. I got to make sure they do. But they did an option where it was 4 years. And then if you made it, you could extend to meet the contract obligation. And if you didn't make it, then you got to, you're an infantryman for 4 years. Maybe try out for Rangers, whatever you feel like.
Yeah. Uh, Interesting. And then as far as the benefits, I think some of the major ones, something about like the VA loan or education, like how does that differ, I guess, when you have 3 years versus 6 years? Because I remember hearing something, but I heard different things.
So the three
For
year
guard
is going to
versus
basically, the 3 year contract and obligations basically open up all your benefits, right? You need to do 3 years to get things like the GI Bill and your VA home loan and stuff like that, right? So as long as you do 3 years and you get in and out, you're going to be fine. You got all your benefits.
Is that also applicable to guard or three? I know there's a
No.
because you don't do quite a bit
No.
of active time, but if you accumulate
Correct.
that much,
No, yeah, it's
can you
more.
still do that?
I don't know exactly how many years they have to do, but they need to do more.
Got it. Got it. I see. And then just out of curiosity, you mentioned about the waiting time because I know there's like training teams and stuff. What specific state was that said they had 2 years?
Well, it's not a specific state, remember, because there are only two units. It's 19th and 20th group, so they attach you to those units, and you just sit there as excess, waiting for your slot. So it doesn't matter what state you are in that situation. It's going to be any state.
Right, because I mean the 19 and 20 they're quite spread out everywhere, right? So that's kind of what I
Right,
was.
right. Yeah, no, it's so regardless of their physical location, there's got to be an open slot in the unit, right? So their team slot has to open somewhere or something along those lines to fill it. So it literally is. It doesn't matter. Like, and most of those guys would move for a chance at the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if you're doing all that, just go active. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so much work to try to fit it into this little jar when you can just be like, dude, let's just break the jar open and go active. You know?
Yeah, and I understand what you're saying. The only thing is, I guess the two things that I have is one is the flexibility to have another MOS potentially, that could translate well into civilian life, and then you know try for the
Wait,
selection, and then the
wait a minute. I
freedom.
don't understand. What do you wait. Having another MOS, what do you mean?
I mean, sometimes like you talk about how they sign you in into 11X, or like potentially like 17 Charlie or something in cyber,
Oh no.
or
You don't just
you know what
sign and just 17 Charlie. I'm going to tell you that right now. That is not a holder MOS. People
I
will
just made an
fight
example.
and
Sorry.
claw. Yeah, they will
Yeah,
claw
yeah,
for that MOS. But no.
yeah.
So when it's not sexy like you're thinking. Okay, one of the guys I talked to was Cam Cook, and he did it because he got promised SFAS, and they said it wouldn't matter that he wouldn't be a cook for long. 2 years, he's a cook. So they're not going to fill you into a really cool MOS. They're going to fill you into something that's got a lot of extra space to wait. You get what I'm saying? So a desirable MOS isn't going to be one of those things you get because they're desired. You know what I'm saying?
What about
So I wouldn't
what about
on
go
that.
ahead, sorry. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm
What
just
about
saying
things
I
like
wouldn't bet on that. That's not something I do.
yeah. No, I see what I mean, you have a valuable, input. What about things like, if you were to get offered something in IT, or, you know, something in survey or engineering? I mean, if it's in your contract, I mean, that's pretty straightforward, right? And then, I mean, if you do the
Well,
SFRE.
if anything, if it's on your contract, it's on your contract, whatever it is. But if you want to say like, hey, I want to be on that training team or something like, or they're pitching you this particular path, they're not, those things aren't going to be the options. Okay. I'm not saying that there aren't options overall. Like if you're like, hey, I want to go to cyber or I want to do that. Yeah, sure, you could do that. Like get on your contract, but they're going to put you in a regular unit. You know, the 19th and 20th group, those niche MOSs, people, that's their plan A. They tried to go to that for that reason. So it's not an MOS they're going to just kind of toss you in and be like, all right, just hang tight until we get you to SFAS. Okay. That's all I'm saying. There's no reality where that works out.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. Like you were saying that you had guys that were waiting, and then my understanding was that they have I think within like six 6 to 1 year they send you to selection.
Sure.
That was like,
I'll tell you what, Mac. You let me know in 6 months where you're at with that. Come back and
yeah,
make
no,
sure you come back on here and tell live where you're at so we can clip it all. Okay. I'm telling you because I've seen it, and I just don't want you to be in a position like that, right? Then again, this is coming from somebody who just said, if you're doing all right, just stay in your civilian job. Was that you or somebody else? I was telling like, hey, if you're doing this well, just chill there. Sometimes the military just ain't it for everybody. It doesn't fit. Um, but I don't want you to go in with these grandiose expectations and then it doesn't happen and you turn around and go, it's the Army, and you blame the Army and you just drag it through the dirt. Like, no, it's not the Army. It was a smooth talking, recruiter for the National Guard that put you in this position. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I appreciate your feedback, for sure. Um, I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, think about it pretty hard
Yeah.
and make sure that we make the right decision. So
Yeah. I mean, I wish you the best, and please come back in 6 months,
yeah, sure.
okay? And tell me how.
Yeah, sure. The other thing is,
All right.
so you're saying you offer active duty 18x contracts?
All day, every day, twice on Sundays.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right.
All day.
Good to know.
And they're guaranteed because so here's the thing, Mac. I'll tell you why this is happening. So they ran out of slots, and the reason I know this is because they have approached the active duty and asked for more.
Mm-hmm.
Active duty told them kick rocks. We need them too. So you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. So next fiscal year they'll have more, but like that's in October. And if there's a waiting list, who says you're getting one? Why wouldn't they give it to the other guy? And if they don't give it to the other guy and they give it to you, it proves my point again. That means that guy just got screwed. He's waiting again. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think you're right because I did ask them about 18x, and they said the waiting list for 18x is pretty long. I'm like, well, I kind of like thought about it. It's like, well, it actually makes sense.
It's been
It's like,
building
well, we'll
for
do
2
this.
years. The first time they ran out of slots was at the end of fiscal 24, around the middle to the end of it. They ran out, and that's when they started this training team waiting list thing. And they don't get any more allocated slots any year. They get the same amount. That's what you get. And they run out just as fast, usually within the first month or two of the fiscal year. And all they're doing is they're taking that list and they're just giving those people those spots, and then the list just grows. So they're running out of slots faster than they're able to get, or they're writing contracts. So the waiting list grows, but the slots don't. They stay the same. So I don't know, man. I'm just saying, like, at some point, it's going to get to a point where they have guys sitting there for their entire 6-year contract and never saw SFAS. That's going to happen at some point. I don't know when or how long, but it's coming.
The other thing I was gonna ask you is about the. So if you have an 18x, I'm assuming you're good. More or less. Like if you have an 18x from guard, that's probably legit, right? Or that's still dependent on a slot.
Yeah, no, that's still dependent on if they can get you to SFAS. But you're supposed to go and get a chance to SFAS. You're supposed to. But at the end of the day, the contract says that it can be changed or altered anytime by the Army. So,
Yeah.
take that as you will.
Yeah.
Let's
No,
put it this
thanks.
way. The National Guard had to report to Congress because they gave a bunch of people bonuses in fiscal year 24 on their contracts, and then they didn't pay them. And they had to go to Congress and report as to why. And the Guard kind of just went. So, just saying, man.
Yeah,
I would
and
just be
the other,
careful.
I got you. No, thanks for these points. I'll definitely keep them in my pocket. The other thing, once you have your age waiver, do you need another age waiver for SFIS, or you're good? How does that work? Let's say you had an age waiver, at MEPS.
How old are you?
I'm actually 36.
You can't. Yeah, dude. That's why they're telling you all this other shit. You can't even do SFAS, brother.
Well, I mean, if you have a waiver,
From,
though.
from the, yeah, they won't give you one for that. They'll give you an age waiver to join the army. You would need to try out from inside the army. So you would have to get in first and sign a different contract anyway. So you sign a different contract, you get into the army, and then you can put a packet in from the inside. Um, but off the street, they're not going to consider it.
Right, but I mean, if you had an SFRE though, and you're going to SF physical, I'm assuming if they're
I
spending
don't give a
that much
shit about
time.
that.
Well, SF physical, no.
SFRE is a made up thing from the Guard. It has got nothing to do with SFAS.
No, I'm talking about a medical exam for special forces.
Yeah, it's the age though. They're not gonna look at it. You're not even gonna go to that. I mean, they don't even. They just don't. They don't care. That they have an age cutoff, and it just is what it is. You know.
Mm. Is that different in active in your unit? Like as far as because I know there's something about like 42 being the max age for that's waiverable.
That's for the army as a whole. So even your age right now, I could put you in the army with an age waiver. That's easy, right? It's what we're talking about here is SFAS, the course, the Special Forces selection. Okay, that's where that age cutoff of 32 is.
Right, but what about those guys that go? You know, there's plenty of guys I saw. I think Jody, Yola
They're
was
in
saying
already.
48
They come in
years
right.
old.
Yeah, they're already in the army. That's what I was just telling you. So you sign for a different MOS, and then you drop a packet for SFAS from the inside. So you can't take an initial contract of 18 X-ray because SFAS won't let it happen. But if you signed like I don't know. And this is where your plan comes in now. I didn't know you were this old. If you signed for 25 Hotel Bravo 17 Charlie, whatever that is, then you can drop a packet for SFAS. If you were to fail, you just go right back to that MOS that you picked, right? And you have that skill you're talking about on the way out.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So that
Mhm.
because yeah, with your age, you can't take a 18 X-ray contract.
Gotcha. So you're saying that the second option that you just told me is more legit, like to go about it.
Well, it's the only option. Yeah, it's the only way to do it. If you really want to get to that point, that's the only route.
Gotcha. Well, thanks, Sergeant Shell. That's all I got. I'll keep your feedback in my mind.
Awesome.
Awesome.
You
Thanks
let me know if you have any questions. Thanks,
For
Mac.
sure. Yeah, we'll do. Yeah. Bye.
All right, everybody. I'm gonna call it quits tonight. If you have any further questions, save them for next week, or just shoot me a text. I'm tired. It's time for bed. I hope everybody got what they're looking for here tonight. And if there's any further questions, please follow me on Instagram and hit up all my stuff. Book an appointment. All right. Peace out.